Thank you. Bitch, I just did it again. Yeah, damn, he did it again. 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 I just did that shit one time, but then I just did it again. Damn, he did it again. Damn, he did it again. Damn, they hating on him, yeah. Damn, they sleeping on him, yeah. Damn, they hurt my heart, yeah. But fuck it, I did it again, yeah. So you can keep sending them shots, yeah. But you better bring the best, yeah. Send them cardiac arrest, yeah. Send them cardiac. You're bitching on my leather, yeah. Running through the winter, yeah. Keeping up the debtor, yeah. Spending all the letter, yeah. Fuck it, he did it, he did it, yeah. He did it all but better, yeah. And I'm a pencil.
Wait, he's not dead?
Give me one more level, yeah.
Yo!
Damn, he did it again.
Dog, no way! Hey, what's good? The gold, thank you, acronym, for that tier 1. I appreciate that. Toyota, best vibe. Richie P.
Do it like this, yeah. I just go do
You know
it
this
like
song?
this, yeah. How is he doing that shit? Yeah, I just keep doing that shit. Yeah, I'm stacking it up like a mountain, huh?
This song is by Simply, by the way. Just as a heads up, this is my friend Simply and his new track.
I'm getting higher than this, yeah. It keep flowing out like a fountain, huh? No way you can count this shit. Yeah.
Yo, Veggies, thank you for the Prime. Tanner, thank you for the Prime. Sushari, cosign.
So I'ma just do it like
Hey, okay.
do it like this, yeah. Hold up while I run it right back, yeah. And then watch me do it again. Fuck, damn, he did it again.
All right, pause. What's good? Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast, back on a Monday, June 16th, 2025. I took a full goddamn week off out of the blue. Oh, we can talk about it in a second, but I just want to say hi. Somehow Atrioc returned. Dude, it's crazy to do current events coverage and take a week off the day my city has protests, the World War III starts, my nation has protests. So much shit happened, dude. Every single day I'm like scrolling Financial Times. I'm like, damn, that would have been a good thing to talk about. What the fuck? Why does it wait for me to take a break, dude? But I needed a break. I mean, streaming is the hardest job in the world. You guys already know. You guys are always saying, please, streamer, take a break. Please. You stream so much for us. You're always on time and you do so much content. Please take a break. And I'm like, no, I have to put more hours in. Hey, while we're all filtering here, I wanted to say, can we get some claps for Big 8ish, who somehow managed to survive on the Big A Clips channel without a dip in viewership, despite me giving him nothing to work with for a full week unprompted? Dude, I checked the stats today. It was like, it's like 1% down. That's crazy. He's digging into the trenches. That's crazy. I would have thought he would have had to give it up. Yeah, 1% down. So I did fire him. And dock his back pay, because 1% down, we're a growth economy. Okay, we have to be growing. We have to be thriving. He tried but failed. We have to beat 2% inflation. If we're not growing above 2%, our real wages are shrinking. Do you understand? This is me talking to 8ish, screaming at him, actually. This is me screaming at 8ish in the call right before I went live. The timer's not moving. It's a recession. You want me to have a timer working? It's a recession indicator right there. The timer doesn't fucking move. There, I'll start it. Hey, good to see you guys. Anyway, there's so much to talk about. And I actually have thoughts on it all. But I'm going to start with a 40-minute rant on abortion. Just to get it spicy in here. Good news day, surely. Pog. Ooh, I don't know about a good news day. A funny news day, maybe. It's my birthday today, so I get a woo-woo. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but because I've been gone, woo-woo for your birthday. Hey, thanks for those fucking gifties. Duke of Air 415. Do you have a message? I, to be honest, have I got caught up in a little bit of protest fever and a bit of I had a lot of families living with me. I had Ari's family and my family, and then Ari's brother's family all staying with me. And I decided that I just wanted to spend time with them. And there was stuff going on, and it was not the time to be going live and making jokes and all that. So I took a week. I needed it. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one fucking thing. This is a belief I've always had. This is a belief that's core to my being. If I get 3 or more days in a row of good sleep, I become a superhero. That's what I feel like. And I finally did. And I feel I feel better. I straight up feel like a better human being. I feel nicer to people. I'm crying, but I for real, I just noticed how much of my life I never get 3 in a row. And anyway, good week, all things considered. I felt really good about the No Kings protests. Just be honest, like of all the news out there that's bad, that did give me some hope. It was really cool. I don't know if you guys saw them in person. If anybody went or anyone looked around, it really was. It was like huge numbers of people, millions and millions and millions of people. Like I think 2% of the U.S. or something, and tons of American flags and peaceful, well-received and people in person talking. What I think is where most actual progress is made. I don't know. I felt very good about it. I'll just say that. I felt very good about it, and it was all over the city. I was kind of driving around with some family, and people really hate the LA Kings. Yeah, dude. People take hockey seriously, and they were fucking pissed. They were fucking furious, dude. And the country was out in force. Atrioc, I work at FedEx, and there was separate protests on my route honked that all have made the world better. I straight up do feel that way. I'm not even kidding. Like, listen, I know that there's gonna be a lot of bad news today. Honestly, I'm talking about economic stuff and some such things in Marketing Monday. But I do feel quite good about those protests. I felt like so many problems can be solved when people are in person. When people are outside, when they're not filtered through an algorithm. I think people are just better in general. I think people are better in person. It reminds me, this is such a small way to think about it, such a stupid gamer brain way to think about it. But like, it reminds me of Smash Brothers Melee, where everybody, when they talk about Smash Brothers Melee online, or when you're playing someone online, they're a huge dipshit. They're such an asshole. They're such a taunt spamming loser. And then when you play someone in person, they're always so nice. They're so nice. Every Smash Fest in real life, everyone's like laughing, patting you on the back. It is just like that. Some of those people are still taunt spamming losers in person. That's true. You're not wrong. I am thinking of some people actually that break that rule. Atrioc, what are your... Wait, Atrioc, I saw some stuff mentioned about the what rule? You mean Ludwig? Well, is Ludwig a taunt spamming loser in person? No. Ludwig's fun to play Melee with. Listen, Melee is an area where you can't lie, dude. You can't tell. I can't call someone's... Aiden is not fun to play Melee with, but he doesn't spam taunts. Aiden might be one of the least fun people to play Melee with in the world. He's a chain grabbing chic ditto. No, but he's a good man, and that's what matters in this world. Aiden doesn't count because he's the same in person and online. Oh, that's not true. Don't let him gaslight you. He's the same in what he chats, but if you could watch Aiden's face in person or online, he's the world's biggest rager. I'm not joking that Aiden, if he's sitting alone at his desk playing Melee and he's losing, will smash the desk. He'll slam and go, oh, this fucking guy. but he'll type like, hey, good games. He'll type like, hey, great games. You played really great. Like he'll type whatever, but he is pissed. But in person, he doesn't actually get mad. He's like, he's actually fine. Yeah, he's just woke. That's not what I was saying, but you gave me a finishing line. So yeah, he's just woke. You're right. That's what it is. That makes sense. I did that so much as a teenager, screaming, cussing someone out, then throwing a GG well played. I mean, listen, you could say that is a sign of your character, to be honest. It's not good that it's like causing you so much stress, but the ability to have negative emotions and then hit a filter in your brain that goes, I can't act this way, and then put out a GG is good. It's good for society. More people need Aiden's filter, okay? That's a good thing. The ability to just say like, hey, GG, even though you don't feel it, is like good. It's positive. Atrioc, you had to reach new builder AI merch. I need a way to make fun of AI bros. Here's the problem. I found this out when I did the FTX hat. If I release a hat of a failed company that just happened, people don't think you're wearing it ironically. If you wear an FTX hat or a Builder AI hat, they just think you work for those companies or like really support them. Like wearing a crypto hat in 2025 is still people think like, oh, this guy loves crypto. It doesn't. I am irony pilled enough that it looks hilarious to me, but I don't think you could pull it off. We're wearing a MAGA hat ironically. Fucking walking around. No, it's ironic, dude. It's ironic. I call him Drumpf. Curb did it first. Curb didn't wear it ironically. He wore it because people would avoid him at restaurants. And he wanted to be alone. Which is one of the greatest sitcom episode plots ever. Calling it Curb like it's his name? Yeah, that's his name. Jerry Seinfeld, the lead actor was Jerry Seinfeld. So the main character of Curb Your Enthusiasm is Curb, last name Your Enthusiasm. It's fucking obvious. That's how it works. Hey, Atrioc, I just quit my previous job because I didn't make shit all for money. Now I'm doing truck driving. Today was my first day of orientation and it already sucks. Let's fucking go. Damn, bro. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to fucking hear that. But better money, maybe? I'm assuming? Possibly? You quit the previous job because it sucks for money, and now maybe you got some better. Maybe the stuff might. Truck driving is good money, just bad hours. The thing about it is, you get more time to watch your favorite streamer, especially one who's so active and streams many, many hours during the week. So that's a huge W for trucking. I also drive a truck. It does indeed suck. A little poet there. You could also be a poet. Not as much as Atrioc not watching the vid I made for him, but it does suck a lot. Okay. Okay. Feels targeted. Feels targeted. Now, I haven't streamed in a while. Maybe I forgot the vibe here, but I thought, this is my recollection, a hazy recollection, was that it's this really positive vibe, you know, where the chat's sort of like friendly, positive banter, and there's like a nice back and forth. That's like, I don't remember anything where it was like making fun of the streamer. That doesn't sound like we wouldn't want that, because that would be weird. And we would never ever spam Glizzy either. That's another thing that I think we also would fucking agree on. Give myself some more. I got a lot to talk about. Do you have memory loss or what? I don't have memory loss. In fact, my memory is crackling because I finally got some good sleep. Did you declare an end to the year of kindness? No. In fact, I think I'm trying it again. I feel like the year of kindness follows my age-old Atrioc's lawnmower metaphor. If you're unfamiliar, the Atrioc's lawnmower metaphor is that sometimes you gotta pull it a few times before the lawnmower starts. Okay? It goes, then it stops. Then it stops. Okay, this is the third poll of the year of kindness. I think the protests made me realize how most people in real life are nice. Like, if you get rid of the digital intermediary, people are nice. Most people are nice. Most people are not trying to fuck you over. Most people are like, generally, they have their fun interests. They want to talk about them. I don't know. I just think that most people are nice. But because we're all isolated and online and stuck in our homes and filtered through ever increasing rage bait, we're getting angrier. I think that's not you guys. You guys are all evil. You guys are all evil, but most people in general. People evil. What is this? Atrioc, I live in the Republican Federal capital, and our protest was a mile long, and over 50% of passerby honked in support. All smiles for everyone, including the cops. Yeah, I had the same vibe. People were positive. I don't know. It was a good vibe, and there was funny signs, which sounds like a small thing, but it just showed me that people are creative without ChatGPT, unless they ChatGPT'd funny signs for the protest, which they may have done, I guess. But I don't know. I thought it was good. I just thought it was good, dude. It was like a sign that like the raw human capital is still there. People are still able to come together and do things. We just have to change some of the systems that make it very difficult. That's my theory. But Benjamin, thank you for the 13 months. Hey, Atrioc, I had a genius idea for a stream. It's like a business presentation, but it's weekly. I'm thinking of a name like Business Presentations That Happen on Wednesdays. What do y'all think for this one? It'd be a more accurate name than the one we have now. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Atrioc, you need to get off your phone and touch grass. That's my conclusion. You're telling me, of all the people, not only in this room, but in the world, the person that needs to get off their phone and touch grass the most is me. A person who just was off the internet for a week. I'm just streaming again. What you... No, I don't think that's necessarily the case. Good diagnosis. Yep. You didn't submit your PTO last week, so we are docking you. First of all, you're not docking me. Pause. Nobody here is docking. Okay? If you mean docking my pay, that already happens. That happens every time you take a break as a content creator. Although that's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to say, Mike, hey, thank you, by the way. Old correct 1234 for the sub, and get cocky. Sounds sexual. Thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. Is that I'm incredibly astronomically impressed with Adish for just powering through, and he did not stop the train of Big A, despite me not telling him and just unprompted stop streaming for a week. That's crazy. I would have thought we would have had nothing. I'm impressed. You didn't tell him? I mean, I told him as it was happening, but it wasn't planned. I thought every day I was going to stream, and then every day it was like something would happen, or I would be with family and, maybe talking about something serious. And I'm like, I can't be like, all right, well, I'm going to dip because I want to go watch X-Files on, you know what I'm saying? It didn't work out that way. It was not, and there was just so much family here. There was just too much family to be like, Adish is going to start Paul Walkering your face into Chat GPT scripts. Did you guys see there was, what was it? Charlie had a YouTube video.
I was an extra in that.
I just watched the beginning of it. Can I just pull this up? It's called,
Now, I've seen
Are We Completely Cooked?
some dumb shit in my time. I've reviewed games that felt like a digital lobotomy. I've watched trends that made me question the collective sanity of the species, but this takes the goddamn cake, eats it.
And you know it's a big deal because it's all stretched res, Charlie.
shits it out and then charges you premium for the fertilizer. That's right, old man blabbering about AI videos again, but this time I'm not yapping about how common they are. I'm talking about how popular they are. They're starting to eclipse normal human-made videos.
It was about this, just these insane, look at this, 77 million views on Spider-Man glizzies. I only watched it 76 million times, which means at least 1 million of them aren't me. At least 1 million people other than me watch this.
According to this Twitter post and according to the stats that they pulled up, the third most popular video on the entire platform for the month is called Lovely Baby Met a Plane Crash Poor Pug.
Dude, that is 395 million views. That is mogging Mr. Beast. That makes Mr. Beast views look bad, and it's AI generated fucking slop pug on a raft.
The month is called Lovely Baby Met a Plane Crash Poor Pug.
And it deserves every one. Can I see it? Lovely baby met a plane crash poor pug. This is the #1 video? Okay. So a woman throws her baby out the window of a falling plane? Why would she touch the parachute? How did she make that parachute? Wait, I am invested. Oh, fuck. Maybe we are cooked. What's it? Dude, I can already see why this has so many views, and it's because at no point does your brain give you the option to click away. You have to know how stupid it gets. Because every scene is stupider than the last. And that's why it gets full retention, which is why it just keeps getting short. This is real footage? Yeah, this has got to be real, right? So the pug... That's unreal. Is this real? It has to be, dude. It's footage. They can't fake video. Wow, that is one incredible dog. That's it. That's Grok. Is this real? Ask Grok. If Grok says it's real, okay? Have you seen the... Yeah, I have seen the VO3 stuff. I mean, it's crazy. The craziest thing is that, what's the betting company? The prediction company, not Polymarket. Kalshi. Kalshi did an NBA finals ad entirely AI generated from VO3. That's unreal, dude. Things are speeding up, dude. That was a joke? No, it was real. They paid for it. Did it turn out good? Oh, I wouldn't say good, but it's also like there's so many bad ads. It was different. Did you see that the first 15 seconds of Charles' video was AI? Yes, I did. Yes. Yes, that's the fucking reveal I was getting to, but I got sidetracked. Depresso Espresso, thank you for the 21 months. You are talking about it right now. I'm sorry to pause, but it's one of my biggest pet peeves in marketing when people say, like, it gets you talking, right? But there's many, like, the counterexample I always use is if, like, someone took a big shit in the McDonald's fry machine, that would become news, and people will be talking about it. It would not be good for their brand. Okay? Do you understand? Like, people talking about it is not, any press is good press, is not a smart take. There's such a thing as bad press. It can hurt your brand value, it can hurt your sales. There's such a thing as bad ads. They do exist. You're hitting on some truth. There's a true nuance to it, which is that often being boring is worse than all of them. Especially in the way our online ecosystem works, it's better to be talked about negatively than not at all. But the best thing is talked about positively. Big A football fair. Are you excited for the upcoming NFL season? I always love when they move them chains, and I always love when they get the old pigskin and Hail Mary it down the fucking green. You know what I'm saying? Go Bears. The gridiron is what I call it. And there's nothing better than a cold beer and your favorite team out there and Brono's ball. You know what? I wanted to call him out, but when he started talking, I realized he was actually he's really informed. This guy knows ball. This guy watches the NFL in and out. Here, 1 second. Let me get a quick water. They retired the chains for the next season? Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? The NFL went woke? There's no more chains? Wait, what do you mean? I'm actually confused. What the fuck do you mean there's no more chains in football? I'm looking this up. No more chains football. NFL officially getting rid of the chain gang? They're using digital. Oh, it's gone woke. They're using Sony's Hawkeye technology to measure the line instead of the chain crew. It's gone woke, folks. It's gone woke. It's over. My dad got unemployed because of that. Your dad was on the chain gang? Recession indicator. This is why unemployment is on the rise. Did you guys know? This is not a joke. Do you guys know that 1 in 3 Americans are employed moving the chains on the side of NFL games? 1 in 3. If this job gets automated, we are fucking cooked. Okay? We're cooked. This is a huge. Okay, let me get a water real quick. Sorry. Can we use technology to replace baseball umpires? Low key. Joking aside, it does strike me as actually this is where I talk about is the NBA. It's just annoying how the ref's mood depends on what gets called. You feel like digitally we could just check this out. We could just see if someone traveled or not. We can see if someone's let me get a water. Yeah, after fucking Scott Foster in that game 4. Back to, dude, 1 week off of cocaine, and here I am back to the old nose candy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Big A, I just watched the latest episode of Lemonade Stand. I noticed about genetic editing that Doug brought up that you missed the mark a bit. I have a PhD in genetics. Love to talk about some of those things if you're interested. If you go to Atrioc's office in the Lemonade Stand Discord, I do check that. And I have responded to many things. So you could do that. That could be interesting. I'm down. It's one of my favorite Discords on the internet. It's pretty nice. If you that's your prerogative. But if you are, bro said, give me money. Well, he's watched the Patreon, so I assume maybe he didn't. He said he watched the main episode. Listen, I don't know. That's the best way to do it. I'm sorry. Otherwise, it's overwhelming. God, I miss saying glizzy so much. Were you under the impression that you can only say it when I'm live? Because you could say it any time. So, does everyone need to get their glizzy spam out? Because we don't need a lot of Gleason spam during Marketing Monday. I would prefer to have less of it, actually. So if you have to say it, say it. Well, the saying's good. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so on that Charlie video, the reveal is at the beginning that was AI generated. And with his voice being what it is and the ability to generate that stuff and huge AI, it's all kind of spooky. In this ever-descending nightmare of slop internet. You know what it is? Because I've had a couple thoughts this week. One of them is on positive feelings that I had around the protests on Saturday and being outside and being with family and talking to people in person. And then the other thing I had was when I was spending more time online, I think I was reading some Twitter arguments or some threads, and I'm just noticing more and more that it's not even human beings talking to each other, or it's human beings filtered through ChatGPT. And I'm realizing that it's no longer like, oh, the internet's about to get shitified by AI. It's like, it is. It's done. It's actually done. It's actually like every comment thread has like tons of bots in it, and even humans are not able to express themselves over a paragraph by typing. So they just ChatGPT. I see the fucking M dash plus, that's not this, that's this everywhere. The internet is actually in many ways dead right now. Twitch chat is the last bastion of human connection. That's actually fucking sadly true. Because Twitch chat moves too quickly for everyone to put their thoughts into ChatGPT. You can't type long form because nobody will fucking read it. And another thing, they bought gains from being in here. So for now, it is our last bastion. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I'm afraid not, sadly. Connor has an AI chatter. How do you know that? What are your thoughts on the NBA giving Halliburton the nickname The Moment? Do you prefer the fan giving one the Halliban? Everyone prefers the Halliban, bro. They only gave him the name The Moment because they can't call him the Halliban for sponsor reasons. Obviously, no one's calling him The Moment, dude. That's not going to stick. The Moment is trash. Halliban is incredible. Halliban versus Al Shada. That's fucking funny. I actually did not hear about Al Shada. Yeah, I heard Trump is leaving the G7 summit early because of the escalating conflict in the Middle East, which I did not get to cover because I haven't been live this week. So I will talk about it. It's probably after Marketing Monday or tomorrow, because the main thing today is about the economy. OKC up by 14. Yeah, it is feeling like a 4-1, by the way. Not to call it early, but the NBA prophet is never wrong in my first season of really watching. It's OKC 4-2. 4-2. Sorry, 4-2. 4-2. 4-2. It's 2-2. I know it's 2-2. I watched all four. I've watched the whole. That's all I've been doing, actually, when I'm fucking not. I was watching. Maybe he wants to sell his new Trump. He has a Trump phone? Wait, what? I got to buy a Trump phone. 5 hours ago, Trump mobile phone company announced by president's family. This is what we need. Wait a minute. I know you guys have noticed a slight tinge of anti-Trump content coming out of me over the past months, but something like this really makes me change my opinion. I mean, they're going to make a Trump mobile Android phone. That's awesome. A mobile and cellular service in the first family's latest attempt to capitalize on Mr. Trump's political base. A $499 gold-toned Android phone. This is great. It contains a 24/7 telemedicine. Dude, they are literally just farming old Trump voting boomers for every dollar they have. The president's family is just milking The most insane schizo boomers you can find. What a grift, dude. It offers a flagship 47 plan for $47.45 a month, a reference to his 2 terms as president. There is a big question mark over how they plan to manufacture it in the United States, noting that the only one phone that costs $2,000 is currently made here. Well, we'll figure it out. I mean, listen, I know you guys are joking and getting your ha-has and he's in, but if there's one person I trust to be a master of tech, it's Eric Trump. Okay? This guy is the face of innovation, of progress, of being a self-made man. And so if you're going to tell me that Eric Trump can't do it, then no one can do it. Okay? Give me a little more time here. Jesus Christ. You got to see how the phone looks? Wait, is there a photo of the phone? All right, there's nothing in here. Trump phone. What does it look like? Trump phone. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, baby. Oh, damn. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. And you could also, if someone calls you out, just say you're a Tyler 1 fan. Wait a minute, dude. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a concept. It actually looks like they took the stock PNG of an iPhone and then edited out the iPhone parts. This actually looks like graphic design is my passion. This looks terrible, bro. What is the fucking background? How was joining casual stream for T1 versus HLE and getting bombarded with glizzies? You know, it felt good, actually. I went into casual stream, which had like 50,000 people, and I said, let's go T1. And then there was just a wall of glizzies, and casual pulled me up on screen and said hi. So it was good. It felt good. It felt like there was a glizzy army waiting to rise up at any time. Which is going to be good during World War III, okay? We're going to need a splinter cell. We're going to need a militia. And we will be feeding the army with hot dogs. Also, probably a good reason for my extra feeling good mood is that T1 won 2 incredible series, including over Zeus, their former top laner at HLE. It was an incredible time for T1. So I will say that was fucking cool. That was fucking cool. Doran did pop off, I have to say it. I was a hater. I wasn't a hater, but I was a skeptic. And we'll see how he does internationally, but you hate to see 2 bad bitches go head to head. Fucking amen. Actually, so true. You do hate to see it, but if it's gotta happen, I'm glad it worked out this way. You guys probably don't, not all of you care about League of Legends, but there was a moment where T1's new top laner, again, there's a lot of drama when they lost their old top laner. Their new top laner died to Krugs, which is like a pro player should never do that. Died to an NPC. He died to Krugs. Everyone was making fun of him, and then he did the greatest steal I've ever seen. 1v3. And it was like incredible. And so people were making the joke that like Krugs is better than the opponent. It was awesome. I mean, it was actually a thrill ride. It was a thrill ride. Yeah, HLE had the same amount of kills as Crux. Yeah, it was cracking me up, dude. It was cracking me up. I like Cadrill's chat memeing. It was good. Yo, Big A, my fiance fell asleep on the couch while watching Marketing Monday. Can you yell, wake up, Zoe, so her and I can go for a walkie walk? Zoe! Zoe, wake up! Zoe, don't go for a walk, though. We need to sit down and focus. Marketing Monday's about to start. What the hell are you doing talking about a walk? You gonna go for a walk right at the beginning? No, walk the fuck in. Get your notepad. Get your pencil out. Take notes. Yo, happy belated Father's Day, Big A. I always thought of you as like a son to me. Well, you shouldn't. You just shouldn't. That doesn't apply or make any sense. But thank you for the happy Father's Day. I had a great Father's Day, and it was cool because my actual father was there. And we spent some time together, and that was really fun. I hope you all called your dad if you don't already see them. I hope you did because it's a nice thing to do. Luka Doncic is Atrioc's father. Okay, last basketball thing, and I will not talk about it again. Luka is looking fucking fit, dude. I got all these, Lakers subreddits on my thing. Luka's looking fit. He's looking like he's getting ready. He's got the off season. Skinny Doncic. Now, he is not in America, so the second he gets back to America and starts eating American food, he might balloon. But I believe, dude. I'm not falling for it again. Luka's Weight Watchers season is here. Our Lakers became Weight Watchers. That's actually so true. Dude, it's actually so true. It should be a basketball subreddit, but everything is about like, what do you think the calorie count of Luka's food is? It's just like a bunch of fucking dudes across the country watching one Slovenian man's diet. But that's also a bonding moment, okay? God. People need ways to connect. And if it's over fucking Luka's diet, then so be it. Zinjo, thank you for the 37 months. I'm 37 like you. That's not very nice. As you know, I'm not 37 years old. And you... I've only been sub for 37 months. Yikes, dude. Yikes. I'm going to pretend you've been sub for 50 plus and I'll just dock the extra months out of your pay. I think that would be fair. I think that's fair. Are you debuting the new show to replace the X-Files? Yes, actually. I think today, after Marketing Monday and after a little bit of talk, and maybe there's actually some really interesting videos I want to watch with chat. After that, I think we might watch an episode of Smallville. I want to try it out. I want to try Smallville episode 1. I want to see if it's fun. I'm really looking for something that is early 2000s coded because I think that is a good bond between millennials and Gen Z, and I think we can all laugh at it, and I want something that's not as high a quality as X-Files, so nobody has to pay attention as much. So I'm going to try Smallville. I am going to try. That's my plan. And we're going to try episode 1 and see how we feel about it. See if it's easy to make fun of without being so bad that I can't watch it. And then that. Yeah. I also want to try something maybe this week, maybe next week. I do have to warn you ahead of time. I have to leave on Friday and Saturday. I can't stream because I'm going to Vegas for Magic Con because Ari is entering into a big cosplay competition. And also I get to be a creator there and I'm doing some creator draft things. But Ari is going to be dressing up as Aurelia from MTG, and she built this fucking 500-hour cosplay. And it's really cool, and I'm going there to support her and cheer her on. So it's possible I could bring the backpack or something. We'll see, but I've always been bad at it. Although JPEG said he would help me. Are you competing? Yeah, I'm cosplaying as a finance nerd. By the way, available now. Failedcodes.co, EBITDA hat, Lehman Brothers, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, or earnings before I trick dumb auditors. You can get the EBITDA hat and you can get the Lehman Brothers sweater available now starting today on failedcodes.co. All MTG bros are finance guys? No, not true. No, absolutely not true at all. No, I've been to enough MTG events to know that is not true. That's not the case. In fact, I don't know if you guys know this guy, Brian Kibler, big card game Hearthstone creator. I met him this weekend at a Magic event. And we talked and we chopped it up, and he was a really nice guy. And I really hit it off with him. But he did spend 30 minutes showing me pictures of a recent LARPing event he he attended, where he was like the god of like IRL LARPing with like foam swords and a cape and like. And by the way, he's a handsome dude and he's fucking ripped, so fucking good on him. He looks cool as hell. But he should, because all right, so I'll just explain. Let me explain the story because it really actually blew me away. I don't remember how we got to this conversation, but I had mentioned that we had gone to the Renaissance Fair, me and this other guy, Chris, and we had fought. They had like a little thing set up where you can fight with foam swords and get a prize. So me and my friend fought and I won and I felt good about it and it was kind of hype and I was telling that story. And then Brian's like, oh yeah, I was there. I got a video of it actually. Brian wins against his friend, then gets challenged by the owner of the shop, then beats that guy easily. It was actually crazy. Like the guy that runs the Renaissance Fair thing steps up and challenges him, and then Brian Kibler in a fucking cape looking shredded has a shield and a sword and goes, whoosh, he flicks the sword around, like chops the guy's legs out. It was fucking crazy. That shit was crazy. Either respect the timer or take that shit off screen. How about this? How about this? How about this? Third option, I ban you. How about this, motherfucker? You have 3 messages all time in my chat. You think you're a fucking lifetime pass? Get the fuck, get him out, folks. Get him out, folks. What does Trump say? Show him the door, folks. No. What the fuck you coming here? 3 messages, respect the timer. Don't give him his jacket. Get him out of here. Mr. Beast ad timer be like, all right, that's a good one. That's a good one. It is like the Mr. Beast ad timer. Ari Aurelia video. Oh, check this out. Wait, check this out. Check this out. How do I full screen it? Dude, look at that! She made it so sick! Oh, it's too loud? My bad. My beezy. Anyway, it's fucking cool. She worked a long time on it, and I'm very excited to cheer her on. I'm excited to cheer her on in Vegas. So I will be off a little bit for the end of next week. But, the reason I said this is because the thing I want to do sooner rather than later is I want to pick a show. We watch the first episode and the last episode and try to guess what happened in the middle. I would love to do that one day. I want more days of for fun stuff in between. I could do it with Psych. I could do it with Psych. I can't do it with One Piece because it's not One Piece is not over, right? Isn't it still going? Isn't it forever going? I could do it with Heroes. When did Heroes air? When did Heroes air? 2006? Oh, let's do it with Heroes. Let's watch Heroes episode 1 and the final episode and try to fucking guess what happened. Because I've never seen any Heroes. I've never seen any Heroes. All right, well, yeah, we do that. We can do that either this week or early next. That sounds good. We'll watch Heroes episode 1 and the ending, and I'll try to fucking... I'm just going to go in 0 spoilers, learn nothing. That sounds very fun to me. And I can make a video out of it. It can be fun. Okay, let me turn on the air real quick because it's fucking hot in here. And then about to launch into... Here, give me a little more time and then no more extendos. Because I'm ready to do a presentation. Is it clicking? Okay, good. Bro, it's not Coke. It's not Coke, it's blueberries. Unless they somehow put Coke into blueberry form. It's not Coke-infused blueberries. That doesn't even make sense. That does not even make sense. He's snorting the bloobs. They're eating the dogs. Any news on the Riot card game coming out in August? No, I heard. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the down low. So I was at a Magic event this past weekend, and I got to meet some Riot employees, and I got to meet some people who had tried the Riot card game. Riot has a real in-person card game coming out. Here's what I heard. I can't name names, but I can tell you what I heard. Here's what I heard. They said the game wants to be everything for everyone and so has real problems. The game wants to be like this fun multiplayer commander thing, but also wants to be a 1v1 like competitive thing. But it can't do both very well and so has problems. That's my understanding. I talked to multiple people and I got that general vibe. But, it's like Breaking Bad. How is that like Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad is a great show. How is Riot's unreleased I'm sorry, I can't skip past this. How is Riot's unreleased card game like Breaking Bad? Explain yourself. Big Brad Dread, explain yourself. How does that show want to be everything to everyone? It doesn't. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. They hated him because he was right? Explain it. It doesn't make any sense. You guys just keep saying it makes perfect sense, but you can't explain it. How does it doesn't make sense. You're just rage baiting me. Wait a minute. You guys wouldn't intentionally say something you don't believe just because it makes the streamer have a reaction, would you? You guys wouldn't like purposefully amplify an opinion that you don't actually personally hold just because it would make me say or do something entertaining or angry. Because that could undermine the logic of the whole stream. That could cause a real problem. You would never. All right, good. Then I guess I was wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Just put the MTG Arena in the bag. Oh, we lost. So I did a charity Magic thing, as I said. I was paired with Jimmy Wong from Video Game High School, if you know him. And we played 2v2 Magic in a charity tournament. We went on day one. On day one, we were against these two people. Can I show you? Maybe you know of them. Reynad and LS. These guys were our rivals on day one. And so funny. So we show up. The judge is like, hey, guys, this is a charity pro-am. It's just for fun. Some people here are even kind of new to Magic. Everyone have a good time. We're not taking it so seriously. Let's just relax. There's some free food. We'll play some Magic, have a good time. These two guys immediately go to the corner of the room, don't talk to anyone, crack their packs, and then start theory crafting for 3 hours straight. By the way, as the broadcast is going on, LS is walking around, watching people's games, and taking notes on what cards they have when he fights them. I mean, they were sweating as hard as you can humanly sweat for a charity match. Anyway, what they didn't realize is that it was best of one Magic. Best of one 2v2 Magic might as well be a coin flip, dude. There's so much variance. And so me and Jimmy sweep them. We went 3-0. We went 3-0, dude. It was easy. But then But then day two, it was the bracket final four, and we fought a different opponent who, Broden and Talia. I think I knew Broden from, he did 100 Thieves stuff maybe, or OTV stuff. And we lost. We lost that best of one. They played great. There's like this epic moment where they have the win on board, but they don't see it. And so the whole casting, the whole like couch watching the game is screaming like it's the scene in Interstellar. It's like, no, don't miss your lead. And then they finally found it. Not the casting, but yeah, they found it. Yeah, Murph. But they found it. They found the lethal and they got us, and it was good. It was fun. We raised some money for charity, but it was third place, so not as much as I could have. What happened to his middle hair? I don't know, but I talked to Ray Dad and I did tell him one thing. I said, listen, bro, listen, I don't know if you guys know, maybe you guys are Northern Lion fans. I'm assuming a lot of you are. And if you don't know, Reynad made the game, The Bazaar. He made the game The Bazaar, and I've known Reynad for a long time. I think he's, he's awesome. He's been around the scene, and I walked up to him and I introduced myself and I said hi, and I said, listen, I'm just going to be dead honest with you. I thought your game was never going to come out. Like, just being dead serious, I wrote that thing off. I thought it would never happen. And I was like, dude, it's super congrats. Like, that thing's doing really well. You got NL playing it all the time. Like, that's awesome. That's, I wish it was on Steam. Yeah, but the thing is, because he didn't do it on Steam and had his own launcher, he got to keep all of the profit instead of giving like 30% to Steam, which is crazy. I mean, my understanding, he didn't tell me this, but this is my understanding, is that he has made fucking ridiculous amounts of money from that game. He made a ridiculous amount of money. Like, even if it doesn't pop off forever from here, like it succeeded. After all that time, like all the money he put into it, he made profit. Good profit. NL uninstalled it? Yeah, but if you get NL to play your game, it's not about him playing it forever. If NL plays your game once, that's huge for your sales. If he plays it twice, that's awesome. If he plays it 40 fucking times and uploads it for months, you understand you're good. He's not going to play. What game has he ever played forever? So I don't know. Congrats to Rena. I think that's really cool. Isaac, he doesn't still play Isaac, right? I don't know. I'm not an old head Northern Lion guy like you. Get Librarian in here if you want to talk fucking old head. Honestly, this is the fucking God's honest truth. If I ever click on an old Northern Lion video and I hear his old voice, I cringe. I'll say it. I'll fucking say it. If I hear a 10 years ago Northern Lion video, it sounds like a different person, dude. And he does like a YouTube voice. It's like it's not the same content creator in any way. It is a different person. I don't know what changed him, but it's not. You're in the FlyQuest video if you didn't know. What's this? Oh yeah. The only thing that's important about this is wait.
There's an game charity going and so community.
Your of collect and center branch you could dual ring combine bring and identity
I can't find it, sorry.
Charity go together, but we're also.
I mean, I'll just show you what it is, but
doing it for charity. Every team has got their own charity going, and so
it was cool. Where's me? You know, that's all that matters.
basically introduce more story creators,
us gaming creators coming together.
There's Jimmy. I'm not in it. You said I was in it. There's dude. Oh, there I am. There's Renat Dallas, dude. They look so fucking. They just look like the villains.
He's a good Padawan this one.
From the beginning.
I see. 112. Nah, that's too late. What is 112 when I just shove past them?
So Magic, I think, fits within that framework. We want to basically introduce more people to Magic. We want to highlight story.
They had a clip where I was like, this guy was talking and I was running to go to the bathroom and I just kind of shoved him. It was like I didn't know he was being interviewed and I just run past him down the hall and my shoulder like bumps his. I don't shove him. It's not like get out of the way, nerd. It's like there's a bathroom down this direction and why is he Amy, chat? Chat, I'm not the asshole. Chat, no, I'm not the asshole. Oh, the timer's out. Okay, wait. Let me make sure I got everything I need. Let me make sure I got everything I need. First, I gotta get rid of chat. You know, amen to that. Let's see. Let's take a quick gander. And I ain't talking a goose. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, is what I've always said. Yeah, this looks fucking good to me. Dude, I fucking love it when I say something completely fucking stupid, rambly, and then someone says true. It honestly makes my day, dude. It makes my day. Thank you, Glandon, for backing me up. You know, I think people need that in their day-to-day life more often. It's just fun to say true. True. Having a butt. Then you'll love the Coney stream. What did Coney do? It's going to his bald head. That's your first time chat message, bro? You don't know that I'm bald. I have a hat on. That's why I wear the hat. You can't know. Do you guys not understand that the balding man's greatest trick ever invented was wearing a hat, a ball cap? It's like a shield. No one can ever know. It's Schrodinger's bald. I'm actually getting a haircut tomorrow. So, what hair? Shut up. So I will not be wearing a hat tomorrow. But you guys have to fucking comment positively on my hair. I'm getting a low taper fade, yeah. Did you see the Naked Gun trailer? I have it. Although, they had like a Spaceballs trailer, right? They brought back Spaceballs? Does anyone who remembers Spaceballs not need a hip replacement? The greatest trick the bald ever did was convincing the chat his baldness didn't exist. Did you just take my joke on the greatest trick that I've ever pulled and then replace it but make it worse and then spell everything wrong? And then farm a bunch of trues and fire emojis? I just did that reference. And then Fuck. I'm getting outplayed in the marketplace of ideas. Speaking of marketplaces, let's talk about the economy in this week's, perhaps this month's, edition of Marketing Monday. We're back, baby. All I need from you is one thing you haven't done in a long time. Dust off the old keyboard fingers. Look at the screen, and when you see yourself, you type Poggy's me. This interaction is sacred. It's old as time itself. It brings us together as we learn about the economy. And gentlemen, welcome back to Marketing Monday. I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Oh, give me a chat. I have a question for you, chat. What do frozen pizzas, not buying new underwear, and eating Chipotle with your hands while watching Ludwig all have in common? What do they all have in common? Likely these three, it could be depression. But it could also be recession indicators. That is what the internet would have you believe. These are not just isolated events of weird people's lives. These are recession indicators. And it started when I saw this tweet from friend of the stream, Hoodat950, who said, recession so bad I'm watching Ludwig videos again. And I went down a rabbit hole of everyone calling every different thing a recession indicator. So I wanted to break it down. I mean, I saw Orca wearing a dead salmon hat. Recession indicator. I saw the return of Squilliam Fancy Son to SpongeBob SquarePants. Recession indicator. I saw Crackle nail polish in 2025. Recession indicator. The quality of chopsticks is down. We're in a recession. Leonardo DiCaprio stopped dating under 25-year-olds and started dating a 27-year-old. We've got to be in a recession. Let me get my cam a little smaller. We've got it. We're screwed now. Even under my own videos, I dropped a video on the LA protests, and the top comment was, Atrioc being serious is basically a recession signal in itself. It got 3,000 upvotes. So I think this deserved further scrutiny. Okay? But the biggest and most obvious recession indicator was obviously people having no fucking money. That seemed to be an underlying theme of a lot of them. So I decided, is there truth? As someone who has made videos about this type of thing in the past, I wanted to look deeper and see if there's any truth to this. To look at these different various recession indicators and analyze them point by point to see if we can draw any sort of larger conclusions. And before you actually me, before you put on your glasses, actually, just to be clear, for the broader, maybe less informed populace, a recession is generally defined as 2 quarters in a row of negative economic growth. Okay? Q1 2025 was negative. If Q2 comes out and it's also negative, then we are in an official NBER defined recession. But that is kind of boring and requires us to wait a long time. Again, the number might come out positive and then get revised down. This could take months, this could take years before we know if we're in an official recession. We have to use social media and trends and TikTok to find out now. And so we're gonna do that today. Again, the official call comes after the fact. The NBR won't tell you in a recession until it's already halfway over. We need to know now. So if you want to hear my official opinion using actual GDP and labor statistics, you can watch my video called Slowly Then All at Once. Everything in it I still stand by, and all the things I said in there about the labor market have only continued to get weaker. But that video is not today's video. Today's video is about recession indicators. Weirder ones and funnier ones, the better. Okay, you can listen to Ray Dalio sound the alarm or Jamie Dimon sound the alarm, but what we want to hear is what someone on TikTok is doing to sound the alarm. Now, and also worth saying before we get into this, it's a contested issue. While many people on the internet are noticing certain signs, ominous signs, that the economy might be deteriorating, and I personally am looking at the official economic data and seeing there's clear signs of strain, some people have the opposite opinion.
Mexico. And most importantly, for the people in this room, the days of economic misery under the last administration are rapidly giving way to the greatest economy in the history of the world. We are rocking. The United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? I'm not going to take that on. No, Mohammed, I'm not going to take that on.
So maybe the U.S., outside of Saudi Arabia, is the hottest economy in the history of the world. We'll find out. But I broke this down in different categories so we could go point by point and see if there's any truth to some of these so-called social media recession indicators. Let's start with food, okay? That joke I made at the beginning about frozen pizza was not a joke. It's called the Pepperoni Price Index, and it's actually real, okay? Now, food in general, people often say is a recession indicator because when people get nervous as the world gets more uncertain, they gravitate towards more comfort foods. And you might say that frozen pizza is that. People like comfortable foods like pizza. On certain times, they buy pizza. But actually, that's not the case. The Pepperoni Price Index is something very specific that's triggering right now. And it's about bougie frozen pizzas. Not just any frozen pizzas, not cheap frozen pizzas. It's about the bougie ones. And you'd think, okay, in a recession, times are tough. People buy the cheaper stuff. No. In fact, during a recession, people buy the most expensive, nicest frozen pizzas because they are trading down from restaurants. Instead of going out to eat, they splurge on a nice frozen pizza. So when the good stuff starts doing well, that's a sign the economy is in trouble. They're replacing eating out with having a good frozen pizza at home, okay? The high-priced kinds. So when you start seeing the DiGiorno's doing well, or the Screamin' Sicilians, or the nice stuff, then you know the PP index is kicking in. And this one is actually true. This one has been researched, and there's found to be a pretty strong correlation, at least in the last 2008 recession. Frozen pizzas have had a correlation with economic downturns. Now, there are other food recession indicators that are less true. Like Edgar Allan Ponis, who said the Cheesecake Factory is cutting 13 menu items. This is a recession indicator. This is much less likely to be true because the Cheesecake Factory still has 250 items. So I'm not sure this actually means anything. I'm not sure this has any effect on our economy or it just has anything at all. Other things in food include the snacking recession. People have noticed recently that Americans are buying fewer treats, fewer snacks, fewer goldfish, fewer Oreos. And this is relevant because just 1 year ago, I made a video about the $100 billion snack war that was heating up as companies were racing to overbid each other to buy big snack brands. But now, just 1 year later, a lot of those bets are not paying off. J.M. Smucker's sales have fell 7%. General Mills is seeing a slowdown in snacking. People are buying fewer of these tasty treats, and it's an indicator that people are cutting back on perhaps the most splurge aspects of their diet. There's some softness in the snacking category. A snacking slowdown has hit General Mills. This effect, by the way, doesn't just apply to human snacks. It applies even harder to pet snacks. People will always buy their pet dog food if they can afford it. But the extra stuff, the bonus treats, is usually a sign of a healthy economy where you're willing to splurge. The pets are actually suffering from this recession most of all as people cut back on toys and treats for the doggos. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Additionally, this snacking slowdown is borne out by evidence as well. This meta study of the 2008 recession showed that there is a strong correlation between decreasing fast food, sugary products, and soft drinks and a recession. And it's not because of people being healthier. It's because they just overall buy less of it. They just have less money. In fact, they also cut down their buying of meats, fruits, and veggies too. It's just less food, really. I'm just being clear. So before you say this is a good thing, it's really not. It's really not that good of a thing, but there could be some health benefits. Restaurants are seeing a slowdown. Restaurants, which were previously in a bit of a boom, are seeing possible 7% less spending this summer as consumers cut back on outbound spending. However, while this might be a recession indicator, I want to show the contra here. People are buying more takeout than ever. In fact, as I researched for this video, I realized that every Zoomer in my chat who makes fun of me for buying Uber Eats Chipotle is a hypocrite. So many of you are it's the stats for Gen Z and young millennials are absurd. They're buying a ton of takeout. It's getting incredibly popular. It's becoming like no longer an indulgence, but a foundation of modern life. There's a true cultural shift towards more and more takeout orders. In fact, the stats that I was able to find are pretty stark. 75% of restaurant traffic in 2025 is now takeout orders. Now that includes drive-thrus and that includes pickup. So it's not all like Uber Eats delivery, DoorDash delivery, but it's becoming where restaurants are primarily vehicles for people to take food home and not to sit in and eat. It's getting crazy. And this is 5 years out of COVID. 95% of consumers deem speed as critical to the experience, while 90% see it as the top priority. People want their food elsewhere. So this is changing. And so it's hard to say, if you can take this as a recession indicator when, the woman appalled by cost of groceries is spending $40 on a private taxi for her burrito. Maybe the economy's better than I think. Maybe there's some, narrative violation there I need to understand. However, looking even more into it, there are some cracks. There are some problems under the surface. Namely, how DoorDash and Uber Eats, to maintain their growth, have been pushing more and more buy now, pay later at checkout. This is a main splash screen on DoorDash.com. They've been pushing it, and more Americans are not just financing their burrito or mac and cheese with DoorDash and Klarna, but also they're financing groceries. This is just from a month ago. People are using Klarna and Afterpay for day-to-day groceries. So I think the recession indicator here is still on. There's still clearly signs of a unhealthy rot under the surface of these big earnings numbers from companies like DoorDash and Uber Eats. And finally, in the category of food, perhaps the most damning signal of all is that a Dunkin' Donuts in Boston just closed. If a Dunkin' Donuts in Boston, downtown Boston, is closing, the economy can't be great. There must be a deeper problem. I didn't even know that could happen. I thought they could only open more. Just fell to my knees in a Walmart. Wait till they close the Walmart. But that's food. What about music? Music has always been a sign of the times. People use it as a way to express themselves and how they're feeling about the world around them. So that stands to reason that it would tie in closely with the economy. And one of the first recession indicators I found seemed like a pretty damning one. Kesha removed the dollar sign from her name. That's a recession indicator. If she can't even have the dollar in her name, how do we have dollars in our lives? The problem with this one is that it actually happened. This tweet is recent, but it actually happened in 2014. And as someone who was looking for a job in 2014, it's actually a much better time. The economy was pretty good. So I actually think it's the opposite. I think if Kesha ever adds the dollar sign back to her name, then we're in a recession. That will be the real indicator. But pop music can possibly be a predictor of a recession. There's articles and studies about this, basically saying, quite simply, that during down economic periods, people crave and gravitate towards more friendly, upbeat bubblegum pop. People want pop that is like party, 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 have a good time, live while we're young, drink and have a... This rise in this type of feel-good, mindless pop is an indicator of economic stress as people look to a bit of escapism in the world. And it is kind of stands to reason. It's at least interesting that as we say this, stressed out by 21 pilots from the last recession is now re-entering the global Spotify chart. I'll get DMCA'd. But the real music they're talking about is not stressed out. It's more of like I've Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas is considered like the ultimate recession pop song. People just not caring about anything. I want to party. I live while I'm young. I'm like, and that type of music, if we see that making a comeback, could be a recession indicator. Ed Sheeran was accused of this. Someone said he's kind of cool now, which he responds to by saying that's a recession indicator. Even he's seeing it. If he knows that he's back, it's a problem. But what about not just the music, but people dancing to the music? Specifically, I'm talking about strippers. Strippers have been a time-honored tell of recession, okay? People have used the economy around strippers to know if the actual economy is doing good since the 20s, dude. Not just in housing, which you remember from this iconic scene from The Big Short.
We're not alone.
Okay, look, if home prices don't go up, you are not going to be able to refinance. And you're going to be stuck paying whatever your monthly payment is once it jumps up after your teaser rate expires. Your monthlies could go up 200-300%.
James says I can always refinance.
Well, he's a liar. Actually, in this particular case, James is probably just wrong.
200% on all my loans?
What do you mean all your loans? We're talking about 2 loans on 1 house, right?
I have 5 houses and a condo.
Hey, there's a bubble. How do you know? Trust me, call Bennett. Like 50.
Now that's housing, but really it's more about strippers as a job, okay? If strippers are unable to have enough clients to make stripping profitable and they have to go work elsewhere, it's usually a sign of bad economic times. As pointed out here, the real recession indicators that I'm trying to get out of the strip club and get a civilian job, which this person responds to by saying, that's quite literally a real recession indicator. That's not a joke. That's like a real thing. That's proven. Wall Street Bets has a more, I would say, crass take on it, which is what they call the Hooters Index that came about 3 months ago on Wall Street Bets. The Hooters Index is, if your waitress at Hooters is really attractive, that's a sign of a recession. If your waitress is really attractive, that means there's no available work as something else, which means you're probably in a recession. However, Hooters just went bankrupt, so I don't really know what that's not a good sign for the economy, but it's also not this. So it's tough to say. However, there is research into something like this as I looked more into it. This is from 2009. It's called the, quote, Hot Waitress Economic Index. And this came out in the last recession in New York. Basically, the idea was this, especially in a bigger city. They slowly let the boys go, then the less attractive girls, and these hot girls appeared out of nowhere. Once upon a time, these ladies must have made $1,500 a night lap dancing. It was a lot of people who were doing some kind of like stripper type work that are then moving into the restaurant industry because there's no money in it. And that apparently could be happening now. That is something that the stats are saying could be happening now. But what about what they're wearing? That's fashion, which is even more of an important recession indicator. There's the lipstick effect. This is a time-honored lipstick effect. This is from 2008. This is one that Warren Buffett talks about. The lipstick effect is that, ironically, lipstick sales go up during tumultuous economic times. People want to, I don't know, maybe have more competition. People want to feel more attractive. So they spend more money on fashion and things like lipstick. What's interesting, as I looked into this, is not only are lipstick sales rising right now, but Michael Burry, the guy who predicted the last housing crash and is one of the characters played in The Big Short, just sold his entire stock portfolio and bought only one stock, Estee Lauder. This just happened. He has only one stock in his whole portfolio, and it's Estee Lauder, which is really more of a signal on this than anything else. Now, not all fashion indicators make a lot of sense. Some of these I really couldn't follow at all.
Recession, I can tell you if there's going to be a recession. These are the key indicators you need to look for. First, highlights. Are they streaky? Are they chunky? Those like chunky, blobby, like they look all weird. Those highlights, if and when they come back, recession. I'm not
an expert on highlights. I don't know. Could be true. But for me, I have no reference. I couldn't find any economic data backing this one up. But she followed it up with one that I really can't justify.
It's happening. Number 2, wasabi peas. If you go to the bar and there are like little dishes of wasabi peas out, recession.
That's a question mark from me. I happen to like wasabi peas. I have no idea if that's a sign of recession or not. I can't. She might be cooking. This is an uninformed response from me. But the third one does spark discussion.
You're fucked. Number 3, there's real science behind this one. Skirts, they get shorter during times of economic uncertainty. When the economy is real good, maxi skirts, midi skirts, we're below the knee. When things get totally fakakta in the economy, skirts get shorter. Go look that one up. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. So if we're back.
So this is true. I looked it up, but she got it completely opposite. I think she misread the story. The actual thing is called the hemline index. And the idea is as the economy gets worse, the skirt length gets longer. It's in fact shorter during good times and longer during recessions. And there's some data to support this hemline index. However, as I really looked into the studies on it, there have been quite a few actually. The best thing the best case I can make is that the hemline index is a lagging indicator where the skirts get longer well after the recession has started or even ended. So if we see longer skirts, it's a sign the recession already happened. Like years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. So not a great way to predict, but a good way to tell that we were right, I guess. The index does not hold up today. Other fashion also applies to men. I saw this one that spooked me looking at my own closet.
Catch yourself wanting to wear your checkered flannel and your favorite selvage denim, well, that's a recession indicator. The male mind yearns for the lumberjack fits as the recession approaches.
Well, that's not good because my closet is all denim and flannel shirts. Are we in a recession? Well, not today, because another sign of recession is when streamers start shilling their own merch. I'm wearing a Lehman Brothers 2008 global financial crisis sweater and an EBITDA hat. And if you want to celebrate this recession with streamer merch, you can go to failedcos.co, available today, brand new EBITDA hat and Lehman Brothers shirt. EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. It is what accountants have been using at many major companies to pretend to appear healthier than they are. A more fun way to say it would be earnings before I trick dumb auditors. And of course, this is just an iconic throwback to 2008. I can't wait to wear new companies in 10 years after we look at this recession. Pawn shops are also noticing this fashion recession, among other things. Now, the thing about pawn shops is that they are for the lowest bracket of income, especially in America. They are like the lender of last resort. They are the emergency fund. People don't actually have cash in an emergency fund. They have stuff, and they sell the stuff at a pawn shop to get emergency funds. So when pawn shops are doing well, it is a general sign that more people are dipping into their quote-unquote emergency savings. And that is happening. The National Pawnbrokers Association are noticing that pawn balances have risen across the country in the past 2 years. People are taking longer loans and then pawning things and not coming back to reclaim them. A clear sign, at very least, that the K-shaped economy is continuing to hurt the bottom half. As you can see here. Speaking of the bottom half getting hurt in the economy, another major talked about recession indicator has been the military. Now, some people think that rising military recruitment is a pure good thing.
We have no choice. After years of military recruiting shortfalls, enlistments in the U.S. Armed Forces are now the highest in 30 years.
And why is that? Why are they the highest in 30 years?
Because there is such an incredible spirit in the...
Because there's such an incredible spirit. That's what it is. People see World War III possibly starting in the Middle East, and they think, I have an incredible spirit to get involved. As an American, I would love to die in the Israel-Iran war. And that is why they're signing up. It's definitely not because of the economy. So when I see that the U.S. Army is posting tweets recently that they passed their re-enlistment goal 6 months early, I think possibly recession indicator, because it turns out the data on this is actually more solid than anywhere else. The data is very good. When military recruitment is up, that is because of a shaky job market. People generally pick the military as their last resort. If they can't find another job, they go to the military. And that holds true in the previous recessions. We have plenty of data on that, but also goes back, long time to the 20s earlier. In fact, data on this comes from the government themselves. This is a government-produced study that says the recent economic downturn has improved recruiting and retention, and it's allowed the services to reduce the use of enlistment and reenlistment bonus. We pay less bonuses and we get more people. They're aware of it internally, even if they're not speaking about it publicly. But not everyone chooses to go to the military when they can't find a job. The other area where we're seeing recession indicators is in education. And that is, I think, happening to some of you right now as you look around in a job market that is absolutely fucked. And you are feeling the chaos and you decide, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. Specifically, grad school. Law school is the primary one, but grad school in general. Law school applications have started to skyrocket this year. It's at all-time highs at many schools. And the competition to get in is becoming brutal. Students are seeking stability in a difficult job market, and that makes sense. You know, the theory behind it makes sense. It's like, I'm going to wait a few years out, and I'm going to build my skill set, so when the economy rebounds, I'll have this thing rather than... But in practice, it's pretty damaging. Fearing recession, young people are heading to grad school. It's not just law school. The law school is the biggest one. People are going out. The problem is, it's not that you can't learn anything, and it's not that the idea doesn't make some sense. It's that grad school is expensive. And so this classic recession move has some real downsides. And namely with student loans, because student loans are another big economic indicator. I've been talking about this for a year plus, but recently on May 5th, they restarted having to be able to actually pay your student loans. You have to pay them. You were able to avoid it and not have any downsides for a long time. On May, you had to start paying them. And immediately, we are seeing a spike in searches for credit score student loans and student loans help. These things are spiking, and millions of student loan borrowers are immediately behind on their payments. That is happening now. Additionally, wage garnishing was announced, where if you're behind on your payments, they're going to start taking your wages. As of 2 days ago, when this article came out, credit scores have started to decline for millions of US users. The impacts have been ignored and avoided for a long time. They're being hit right now. These are real recession indicators. These people are now having to spend, either have less money from their wages or less money to spend on other things because they're spending their student loans. That does not go into the economy. This also applies to housing. Now, when people think of a recession, especially if you're younger, the only one you even know, and that one even barely, is the 2008 recession, which is all about housing. But most recessions in history are not about housing. And it's possible that if we're in one now, it'll have nothing to do with housing. However, looking at housing, you see signs of stress as well. This year, it was supposed to recover. It was supposed to be like the housing prices that were starting to flatline or drop would bounce back. But it has not happened. The opposite is happening. What we're actually seeing, if you look at housing, now again, most of you are young, you don't care. You in fact would like prices to go down. But the economy is often dependent in many regions on housing stability or price increases. And what we have now is the opposite. There is 500,000 more sellers than buyers. At first it was a trickle, now it's a stream. Pretty soon it'll be a flood of people trying to list their houses and having to cut the price to get it sold. People are sitting on the market unable to sell, especially in big regions like Texas and Florida. People cannot find a buyer at the price they think they were supposed to get. People who bought dozens of Airbnbs, they're not making the money they used to get. They can't unload them. So a crash, I don't know about a crash, but a reckoning a meeting with reality is clearly coming for some of the most overbought housing areas in the United States. And it's becoming more and more obvious as the months go by and more things do not sell. However, for renters, the story is more positive in that if you can't afford paying your rent in 2025, well, there's new ways to do that, like Flex, which is flexible rent, which lets you take a loan to pay your rent. It's like Klarna, but for your rent. Rent now, pay later. What a brilliant innovation. How does Wall Street keep innovating so many incredible new financial instruments? Now, a layman might think this is just another word for debt, yet again. And in fact, risky debt, because the data shows that people don't pay their rent as an absolute last resort. If you're low on money, you might skip payments on subscriptions or gym membership or the jet ski you leased. You might even, you might cut back on purchases. But the last thing that usually gets cut from someone's budget is their rent payment, because nobody wants to be homeless in America. And so if we're getting to the point where people have to do flexible rent payments, that is a recession indicator. No doubt about it. This shouldn't exist in a regular economy. This is a sign of serious stress. And again, the number of people Googling file bankruptcy is rising heading into this year. So the problem is extreme. However, maybe the US is the problem. Maybe we need to get out of the country. Maybe we need to travel. However, travel is showing, in fact, travel's not showing indicators. If you talk to CEOs in the travel industry, we're already there. The Southwest CEO on an earnings call openly said, yeah, I don't know about the rest of the country or the economy. We're in a recession. It's just, we're not seeing the flights or the travel that we would normally see. Now, this could be self-inflicted. Again, it's hard to disentangle this. Some companies like, I'm trying to give an example, but like Dollar Tree, for example, some companies are claiming recession when it may be their own economic performance. Dollar Tree is having a bit of a downturn, which normally doesn't happen in a recession, but it could be because they're getting outcompeted by Walmart. It's hard to tell what's the economy and what's individual performance, but we're seeing this not just from Southwest, but across the flight industry. All U.S. airlines are seeing travel demand falter. And that is not just people not wanting to go to the United States, which is happening as some of our allies for some reason are pissed off, but also U.S. travelers leaving. A large part of what was boosting the economy was U.S. travel, especially the top end of that K, spending more on travel or tourism around the country. You know, you fly to Disneyland, take your family there. That's happening less and less. Hotels are facing slowing growth. Now, this has to do with less foreign travelers. We're seeing slowing tourism to the United States, and that might not be a recession indicator, but that certainly doesn't help if we're having one. That's going to be a problem. If people aren't coming here to spend money, that hurts a lot of local economies. Finally, the big thing that's been holding up the economy, the Magnificent Seven, tech. Tech will save us. Certainly, all this stuff in the rest of the economy could be a bad sign, but tech is our rock solid golden golden elevator to the top that will keep us safe. Well, there's some recession indicators in the tech world as well. Number one, I want to take you back to 2012, during the last recession actually, when a company called WhatsApp launched. WhatsApp was an immediate success that grew rather quickly. And one of their core philosophies in a blog post that is still up, they said why we don't sell ads. Okay? We want to make a product that isn't just another ad clearinghouse. We want to spend our time building a service people wanted to use because it worked and saved them money and made their lives better in a small way. We're going to charge you directly because we can do all those things. We're going to do what people want to do every day, avoid ads. No one wakes up excited to see more advertising. Unless it's a Marketing Monday ad review. Clearly, this guy's not a viewer of Marketing Monday ad reviews. No one goes to sleep thinking about the ads they'll see tomorrow. Clearly, someone hasn't worked in marketing. Because sometimes you do that. But in general, remember, when advertising is involved, you, the user, are the product. Now, this is a powerful fucking statement. I remember this blog from back in 2012. And I always thought it spoke as a good credit to WhatsApp and even to Facebook for keeping it this way after buying them. As of yesterday...
Welcome back. Take a look at shares of Meta. They are higher this morning. This after the company announced it was taking a step to bring ads to its WhatsApp platform, specifically in the Updates tab.
Recession indicator! They lasted 13 years with no ads. And finally, to keep Meta's juggernaut growth going, they had to put ads in WhatsApp, an app that charges you. Recession indicator even in tech. The top comment was very funny, though. Users have been begging for this, for more ads. Finally, Meta is listening. Finally, Meta is listening to its users and giving us what we've been wanting. More ads, thank God. Other indicators in tech are harder to tell. I will say, one thing I haven't mentioned this whole presentation is the stock market. And the reason I haven't is because the stock market is doing quite well, especially among the biggest tech stocks. There's no getting around it. And many people have pointed out, me included, that over the years, the disconnect from the real economy and the highest end of the stock market is becoming more and more apparent. And no one can deny the performance of these magnificent tech companies. But I don't think that is cause for us to ignore these other signals, including the fact that in SF warehouse parties are now making you pitch your startup to get in. She's asking how many users does she have on her startup. So there's problems. Finally, I want to talk about pets, but I decided to cut this section because it's really sad. I mentioned the pet snacks, but also, without getting into too much detail, a big sign of recession is when people abandon their pets. And those numbers are indeed on the rise. The number of people who feel like they cannot take care of their dogs and cats they want is on the rise. Which, again, if you think about it from a human being perspective, people would only do when they are out of options. It is a sign... If it's happening one person, that's terrible, but if it's happening to a lot of people, that is a sign of increased economic stress. So without, I don't want to get too depressing on this one, okay, in my recession indicators PowerPoint. But what does this all mean? What does this all mean? Am I just Jim Carrey in the number 23 pointing at random signals and trying to put it all together? Quite possibly. Maybe all of this means nothing. But the questions people have been asking are continuing to rise. How does one deal with an economic recession? I've looked into this as well. Listen, the answer is very different depending on who you are and how much economic security you already have. But the two rules that are really simple, just really simple. Step one, avoid new debt. Step two, if you've got a job right now, don't quit unless you got a new one. These two things are 90% of the advice you can give someone in a if you believe, as these indicators do, that the economy might go into a turbulent time. Step three, rob a bank. Yeah. What's the difference between a recession and a depression? It's a great question. A recession is when your neighbor loses your job. A depression is when you lose your job. And a recovery is when he loses his job. Hey, yo. And also, one good thing, if there's another recession, do my parents have to get divorced again? No. Okay? Your parents do not have to get divorced again if we have another one. So if you've already had the bad thing, you're safe for the second time around. There's no double jeopardy in recessions. Are we completely cooked? Charlie asks. And the answer, I think, is no. What I look around with all these indicators is not necessarily that we're having proof of an economic recession. Nobody knows. Don't make any big short bets. What I think is that we are in a time, more than I've ever seen it, of really, really, really high uncertainty. We can't see more than a few feet in front of our faces. That is my takeaway from these recession indicators. we are not just in an economic recession, that's a possibility, but we're in a vibes recession. We are in a friendship recession. We are in a recession of human connection. We are in a recession of third places, of niceness to each other online. We're in a recession of things that make the difficulties of life easier to bear. And that is making all of this more scary. As we see possible wars and the rise of technology like AI that is coming so fast, no one can prepare for it, people don't know what the future will look like, and that makes them anxious and uncertain. And all we can do is sit on our phones and monitor it, which feels very anxiety-inducing. I'm guilty of this myself, dude. As I read the news every day, sometimes I feel like, wow, I'm just sort of building up an anxiety that I can't do any action about. And there's science behind this. Uncertainty is something the human brain hates. We want to know there's a stable future ahead of us, and if we don't see that, we retreat. You combine uncertainty with threat and you get anxiety, an emotional response that is starting to make us angrier and snippier and more mean to each other. And what makes it worse, this comment really spoke to me. What makes it worse is that there's a general sense from the most powerful in our society that nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. The biggest corporations are doing well. The media tells you inflation's lowering. Governments tell you it's fine. And you feel like, no. We can look around. I mean, I can just feel the difference between the job market now and the job market when I graduated in the 1800s. It was industrialization. It was a better time. People are feeling a difference. Now, I'm not going to end this on a fake positive note, but I do want to say something. There's this quote from a Nobel Prize winner in physics. The future is uncertain, but this uncertainty is at the very heart of human creativity. I do believe this is true. If you look at the grand history of humanity, we've had many worse and more uncertain times than this, and we've found our way through and to a general increase in the quality of human life. I believe in this. And I was at the protest this weekend, and I actually felt a real sense of hope. Seeing other people in person and talking to them reaffirmed that I like people when there's not a screen between us. When I see people in real life, I realize that I like humanity. I like other people. It's just when you spend so much time online that makes you disconnected. I generally have a positive sense on our capability and our human spirit to overcome tough times. Again, this is the largest protest in history, and there's peaceful, and there's American flags, and there's patriotism, and I felt good about it. But I'm not going to end on a pure positive note. I want to tell you a piece of advice that my boss at NVIDIA gave me that has really stuck with me. I would hire people for our team at NVIDIA, and I would often try to sell them on the company. I would play down the hard parts of the job that I was hiring them to do, and I would play up the good parts. I would talk about, good salary or good benefits, and I would not talk about the challenges of the job. And my boss told me that if you're going to deal with something difficult, what people want is to be told up front what they're getting into, to be as honest as possible that there's going to be a challenging time ahead. And if people choose that going in, they are much more resilient when that time comes, and they're much more able to handle it. The honesty matters. So I want to end by saying I truly personally believe that we are headed in for a rough couple years, tough times, but I think we are capable of it. I think human beings as a society is capable of it. I think knowing about it and being informed about it does not have to mean depression. It has to mean an honest assessment and awareness of the facts while still believing and having hope for the future. So if you share that idea, that is the kind of community I'm trying to create here on Marketing Monday and with Lemonade Stand and others. So thank you for watching Marketing Monday. Hope you enjoyed this update on recession indicators. Okay, bye YouTube. Bye YouTube. One more story. Wait, I'm not going to tell you the company yet. You guys know the movie The Big Short? I have done my own personal small short. My advice to any of you is to never short any company ever. Long only, shorting, you can lose way too much money. But I have some bread and I have a dream of something I've always wanted to short. And so I did it. And currently it is up so dramatically that it's crazy. I haven't closed out yet. I won't talk about it till it's done. But once it's done, I'm going to tell you about it. And if I come out I'll be honest about what I made. I will not lie. I will show you the screenshot. I will show you what I made. But if I'm right, it's going to be the greatest feeling of all time because I've always wanted to do this. And I finally pulled the trigger this week because I had time to really research it. And my God, dude, it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. It's fun. I've never had a greater feeling on an investment. Not talking about it. I will not give it. I will not leak. And if I lose money, I will tell you. I will follow up. Listen, I'm going to close it out within, probably a month. Within a month. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was fun. Okay, anyway, hey, Big A, your hairline's in a recession? Okay, that's not nice. It's true, but it's not nice. Is everyone talking about recession indicators also a recession indicator? Yes! Yes, dude, yes. I actually should have included that. It's a great point. Yes. Everyone talking about recession indicators is likely a sign of terrible consumer confidence at a recession indicator. Post-credit scene? Yeah. There's been an increase in banks giving 0% mortgages were cooked. Oh, yeah, that's a sign. I mean, this is happening with Tesla, too. Listen, Tesla giving out 0% down, 0% interest loans on their cars. Banks giving out cheaper teaser rates for housing. This is all signs of a debt cycle that is nearing its end and needs ever riskier and bigger loans to keep it going. That is the sign, because these loans can't be paid back. They're now so risky and so appealing to broke people that, you know, it's subprime. Clint Stevens returning to streaming. I should have included this. Dude, that is a good one. I actually might record that offline and throw it in the video. That's so funny. Clint Stevens streaming again is 100% a recession indicator. Because that guy was off for years on crypto money. Crypto must be down. The fork coin must be down if he's back to streaming. Someone else said that about the original Hamilton cast is like performing again, Hamilton, and everyone was saying it's a recession indicator. If the original cast can't get work elsewhere and they're back on Hamilton, that's Tom Felton reprising Malfoy. Yeah, dude. Well, here's the problem. Is really these are indicators that millennials are entering their peak earning years. And so we're just going to have insane millennial nostalgia bait nonstop for the next few years. That's just going to be that everything millennial nostalgia bait is getting milked like crazy. And there's like a lot of money. Millennials are going to be pay pigs for the cultural economy. All right. So I want to watch Smallville tonight, but I'd like to, between 8:30 and 9 here before I start the Smallville, is watch an interesting video about either the economy or the world. I might have some choices for you. Let's see. And then maybe tomorrow we talk about, fucking World War III and everything, but I don't think I can do that today. Many, many, many good options. Does anyone have a great video? When are you doing Reddit recap?
Underline, because
So I may have stopped Reddit recap forever, but I will watch your video, Evan Gao, but not today. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna do the weekly thing because it just didn't work. It didn't work. It was just all spoon triogs, bro. It was just all spoon triogs. It's not worth it to just get a bunch of spoon triogs. What I'm looking for is
my dad.
Okay, here it is. Wait, I think I wrote it down. Oh, okay. Well, there's a couple options. There was a video called, there was a video about Russia's economy that hit like 3 million views. You know what I'm talking about? It's like only a few days old. It was like a serious look at Russia's, it might have been, it's one of those Ukraine war people, I think. Maybe it was Money and Macro. I'm not sure, but it was good. It was like good looking. I don't want to watch it because I want to watch it with you, but
Billionaire is created.
Now we already watched this one. This good work. I want like a.
This video is brought to you by.
We could do a "What's Up Beijing" here about China's deflation crisis, which is still getting worse. That's true. People ignore it because we're having massive problems elsewhere, but the housing prices still falling a few percent every month in China, and that's where everyone's retirement is, and it's still causing a slowdown. The growth areas in batteries and EVs are not counterbalancing it; they're just kind of offsetting it. Oh, I really want to talk about Apple too. I want to talk about Apple, which is doing quite poorly. What is this?
Underline, because.
Why does someone keep linking me their own? This has 10K views. Stop self-promoting. How Russia's sanctions on Europe. That's not it. Recession indicator. Recession indicator, dude. You self-promoing and Get Smarter Mondays? Found the Russia vid. This is absolutely gonna be a fucking Rickroll. Just the way you said this. If this is real, my mind will be blown. All right, well, it's not Rickroll, but it's the same thing. It's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie, dude. You lied to me.
Is it possible?
Oh. I tried to make something in America, the Smart Scrubbler experiment. Didn't Good Work try this? Try to make a plumbing company or something? To make a plumbing company? To sell to private equity?
More and more people are going to trade school.
Go watch this. I tried to make a plumbing company to sell it to private equity. Got 1 million. Okay. Yeah, I want to see this anyways. Let's give it a chat.
More and more people are going to trade school, becoming plumbers, selling their business to private equity, and becoming millionaires.
That sounds easy
See if I can
money.
speak about that. To do this, I went to trade school, spent a day shadowing a real plumber, and then finally.
Just to be clear, private equity is, pools of rich people's money buying things that aren't on public markets. So they'll buy up things like nursing homes and then cut the staff to make money. They'll buy up things like dentist's office and then put them all in the same HR system and then cut the staff to make money. It's what's interesting, though, is a lot of private equity makes dumb decisions and then just hides that it's lost money. It's actually, they're actually set up for a big colossal failure, it seems like. But they have been buying up things like blue-collar businesses like plumbing. And so I'm interested to see if this works. Because theoretically, I think private equity does such a bad job. They're so bad at their jobs, they wouldn't even be able to tell that your business isn't doing well when they buy it. They're so concerned with just buying up all these businesses and rolling them up that they wouldn't even check. Like, that's my honest opinion, is like they wouldn't even check.
I started my own plumbing business and had my big meeting with private equity to see if I could become a millionaire like so many other plumbers.
Okay.
I want everybody to introduce you to Macy. Show her the ropes, everything, all right?
Step 1, go to trade school.
First up was trade school. This is a 5-month program, but I figured I could get the gist in a few hours.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With your boots.
Well, I thought about getting boots, and then I thought I would just see what boots everybody else had, and then I could pick out the cool ones after that. No, I was just gonna see like what kind of styles you guys had. And then, yeah, I don't think these have steel toe.
Yeah.
I'll keep my feet out of the way for today.
Do me a favor, next time you come to class, wear your boots.
Wait, someone in chat said, I worked as an accountant at a recently acquired roofing business. You are correct. Dude, I totally, you know, because I read these, you know, I'm in these finance forums or whatever, and I'm reading, and it's people like, you know, with these small private equity businesses that are like buying businesses with zero due diligence, just buying, just assuming that they can do it better. I'm going to buy this plumbing business. I can handle it better. You don't know shit about plumbing. You don't know shit about plumbing. You don't know shit about dentistry. You don't know shit about the thing you're buying. You're just assuming because you have a fucking MBA that you can handle this better, and it's almost certainly going to be a failure.
I'm going to class without no boots on.
Got it. All right, minor misstep for me to show up in sneakers, but now I was ready to be a star student. Do you have gloves? Okay.
You got smaller hands than most to be all
We'll
right.
make it work. Thank you.
Who's going to be nice and show new guy how to cut?
This is 2 left hands. Okay. All right, oops. Now I was ready to be a star student. My classmates started teaching me how to cut cast iron pipe with scissor cutters. Okay. Whoa.
Okay.
Nice.
There you go. Okay. Okay, you know what you're doing.
This is a 600-hour plumbing course, but she's going to do it in 20 minutes.
All the muscles you got.
Okay.
Push down.
All right.
You ready? This is not the one you want. This one. This one. I'm gonna try. Start over. Boom.
Just.
Boom.
Okay.
One more time. One more. So now here, I'm gonna go with a little bit more speed.
Okay.
1, 2. 1, 2.
Boom.
Not that bad.
That's cut.
That looks pretty clean to me.
Cut straight. Cut off though. You made mark. You're not on mark. Okay, that's the old
I scraped my elbow because I keep falling when I cut the pipe. Why'd you guys decide to do plumbing?
Plumbing is because good money and good opportunity.
I tried to be a nurse. It just didn't feel right, and then I went to college and I hated it. Like every day was miserable. Like, you know what? Let me try trade school. I don't know. It kind of made me fall.
So this is right. People have talked about this in my comments and in this chat, which is especially among Gen Z, a rising interest in trade schools or the trades, especially among Gen Z men who are seeing college as a scam. Now, I don't think, I wouldn't go so far as to say college overall is a scam, but I do think people are rightly noticing that the cost keeps going up while the benefit keeps going down. And that may not be a scam, but it's not always a great fucking deal, I'll tell you that. That's a poor deal. And so I think there's some value, especially because in a world where, shockingly, blue-collar jobs are becoming the ones that don't get automated. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but those are the ones that are AI-proof. In a weird graduate economy, I can see the benefits. Could also be a recession indicator.
Fall in love with plumbing.
All right, this one I have to do faster. I know it'll shatter.
Whoa, what you mean now?
Whoa.
It's angled.
They're good.
That's good.
They're good. That's usable.
That's usable. It's a good grade to me.
That's good. Nice. That's good. Guys, Marcy did cut by sub. Give a round of applause, guys. Did cut by subs. I like that.
Let's go, Marcy. Oh wait, Macy. Her name's Macy. He called her Marcy, and I agreed. It's Macy.
So I did college like when I got out of high school, but I just wanted to enter a work field that was like, you know, a little more job security for me.
Come on, Edwin, give me a good cut. The eyes is on you, Edwin. It's good work. It's not easy, but
Not easy for Edwin.
She's already talking shit. She's already talking shit.
Wow.
Hurt will hurt people.
Let's go, Edwin.
By the time the 20 weeks is up.
Are the vibes this good at trade school? This is crazy. No wonder people want to do it. They just want a fucking community, dude. You get to work with your hands. You get to talk. You get to clap for each other. Wait a minute. This is...
Everybody will be comfortable with build out a whole bathroom by themselves.
What kind of information is in the book? Is it like codes and stuff that you have to memorize? Or?
More so fixtures, pipes, pipes, and lots of pipes.
Let's take this out for me. Be mindful of the position of your band. Be uniform with the pipe. Be uniform with your band. They put it in a position that a guy could access it.
So now this is off. Then what?
And then the next one next to it.
Okay.
You know, streamer is kind of like a trade when you think about it. It's very blue collar. It's very physical. It's very hands-on. Like, in a way, I feel like I have a lot of kinship here. And I feel like when I look at the chat, I see that most of you agree. In fact, almost all of you. 99% agreement, I think. This is the vibe I get. It's like, it's just it's a working man's job. It's a hardworking, all-American, red-blooded, Streamer University is the real trade school. Yeah. I think Kai was doing a trade school with Streamer University.
Okay, next one next to it. Got it. I'll just keep going.
There you go. There you go.
So that's like the pipe I was cutting.
Right.
Take this.
You're Gru and we're the minions is the feel that I get. Okay. You can keep some of your feelings to yourself. You don't have to share them all. You don't have to.
Then we get the waste out. Again, we need to know it's not just a job. Without our work, people get sick.
The guys in my class were great, but I wanted to meet one of the only 2 female students at Burke, Lauren, who's becoming an electrician.
It's basically you're going to come from the power here. So it's going to be lamp, switch, lamp, ground wire, neutral, and this is going to be the hot wire. Does that make any sense?
It does. Why did you decide to become an electrician?
2020, during the big timeout, I got a lot of time
The
to
big
think.
timeout?
And at the time I was in college. And I thought about, what I wanted. I wanted consistency. I wanted something that would make me feel accomplished, make me feel proud of myself. There's a satisfaction with, you flick the light on, even if these projects right now, you flick the light.
So why didn't she go into finance? I don't understand. I'm not. She wanted something consistently that makes her feel proud of herself. Why didn't she sell loans to people? I guess I'm confused. Why didn't she like package and redistribute loans in a way where she can scam margin off the top? I don't know. I guess I'm just confused. Maybe she didn't know about it. Yeah. Why does she sell financial derivatives? Nobody feels happier than someone who sells financial derivatives. You understand? I guess it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Right on, you're like, oh, I did that,
Yeah.
right? And I wanted that feeling, but on a grander scale, so became an electrician.
Would you recommend other women to go into the trade?
Oh my God, yeah. A few weeks ago, we had some high schoolers. There were women who came in just to look around, and I felt so excited. There's nothing wrong. I love, again, all my male classmates, but I would love to see more people like me. I'm like 4 foot, like 10? Anyone could do it. There's like an association with like big burly construction workers or something like that, but it's like there's a big need for also people who can reach into small spaces.
Yeah.
Sometimes like my classmates are like, hey,
That's
Lauren,
cool.
can you come help me because you have small fingers and you can actually get this. So there's a need for it.
Dude, this is a better ad than anything they could have ever done. They could have said about money or benefits or consistency. It's just that everyone's nice. The reason this is such a good ad is because everyone in it is nice. That's the people are like, oh, I just want to work with people I like, which is probably not 100% true, but that's That is
Interest in the trades has grown so much recently, Burke realized that they need more space for students. After my school day, I went to tour their new building.
It is sitting at roughly over 16,000 feet, which is where we're coming from right now is 7,000 feet. So we're double.
Yeah, you know what? I just realized, like, I'm thinking about the downside. The downside is not that the people you work with are not nice, is that the customers aren't. That's where but that's every job, I guess. That's every fucking job. But the customers have got to be the fucking miserable part. Although, you know what's crazy is, like, I feel like this maybe is not 100% true, but I'm going to say it anyway, which is that for blue collar work, if I have to call somebody to do something like that, there's such a Giga Chat energy around the person that has to do something physical. When they show up and they're the one with the tools that can fix whatever, maybe it's the plumber. It's like, well, I have to just be nice and thankful because they're doing, you know what I'm saying? There's an aura to it. Construction or normally I'm extremely rude to all service workers, obviously, but for blue collar ones, I can't be. Giga Chat. No, I'm joking, but I think there is something special about it. There is something there.
Why do you think trades are a better option for these students?
Because a lot of them have specific things they need to do right now in their life where they don't have time for 4 and 5 years. A lot of them want to help take care of their family.
Are you saying you don't have that aura when you walk into a meeting room with your slide deck? In the right circles, brother. I felt like I had aura when I had a fucking good presentation at NVIDIA, but I don't think that translates. I don't think anyone outside of that meeting room would give a shit. So it really is it's a small, I feel like most people will understand if you're able to make something physical with your hand. I think that's cool, or build or change the world.
Mother, their father have been in situations that, you know, they risk things in order to get to where they need to get into life. So they want to repay them. And this right here is one of our new plumbing classes. And as you can see,
I mean, the example I'll give right now is just Ari's dad. Ari's dad's been staying with us, and he is such a handyman that it's like, it's badass. It's not that I can't fix something with YouTube and time, but he just knows instantly from a life of experience how to like fix a sink, how to like install a doggy door, how to, he just fucking looks at it, sizes it up, fucking measures, cuts, ding, ding. He's good at it. And there is something to it. I can't deny it. Even as fucking soft-handed money-making streaming is, there's something to it.
So far, how much bigger it's going to be from the one you came. So this right here is going to be our new student resource center. They can do their resumes in here. They can do their mock interviews, get prepped for when they go on real job interviews. We help them go to work. Traditional college, once you graduate, they kick you out. They say, good luck. Thanks for your money. Hope.
I'm not even going to dignify this with a response, dude. Didn't one screw fall out of your $1,000 chair and you bought a new one instead of fixing it? I'm not even going to dignify such slander with a response. It's not true. I didn't buy a new one. I was gifted a new one for free because I'm a streamer. Okay? There's a difference. There's a fucking difference. Okay? Okay, sweetie. It also wasn't one screw. It was 2 screws. So, interesting. Very interesting.
You get a job here, we did not do that.
I know how to do these. Easy, light work. I know how to do that. I know how to cut this pipe. No big deal. It was finally my first day as a plumber.
Okay.
A chance to put all my knowledge from trade school into practice. All right, this is not the way I learned. Is this easier than one of the scissor cutters?
What is a scissor cutter?
The day is finally here. I am a plumber's apprentice today. It smells like the 4th of July. We're here in Queens working with Dove Plumbing. I'm going to be the greatest plumbing apprentice anyone has ever seen. I'm dressed for success. I can't wait to get this.
Dude, it's funny because at the school it's more nice. but in the real world on the job, he's like not interested. He's like, I got a job to do.
Day started.
Uh,
Since I'm an apprentice, I had to start with
she's not
grunt
wearing
work, but I
boots.
still wanted to do my best. Feels like a tripping hazard. Because I'm a good apprentice. And to learn more about what it's like to actually run a plumbing business. Where do you get your supplies?
We get our supplies from plumbing supplies, usually in Brooklyn.
Are the supplies expensive? Like, is that like a considerable cost?
Everything is going up. Most of the fee that you're going to be paying when you're paying a plumber is for service, warranty, reputation.
To carry this sink inside.
Okay.
Are you ready for the sink in there? I mean, this is obviously a house that's not in use. These pipes don't seem like they have like waste in them. How often are you working with pipes that are kind of gross?
Twice a week.
All right, that's not bad.
Not bad, no.
A lot of this story is about how private equity is buying a lot of plumbing businesses. Would you consider selling it to private equity, or you would want to sell it to another plumber?
Anybody almost a day. I'm just gonna pick up my phone just for a
I
second.
mean, realistically, if you're selling your plumbing business, even if you're like, fuck private equity, you're getting out of the business and you're going to take the best offer. That putting a moral judgment on someone selling their life's business to undercut it's hard to do because they have to get the max value they can. It's their retirement. They're going to get a good exit. And if private equity wants to overpay for a business that doesn't even have you anymore, then you take the best bid. That's not the real problem is that private equity can keep getting money despite not provably providing better returns. In fact, often making the business worse. There's a lot of financial trickery afoot that allows them to hide losses on business they bought. That's the real fucking problem. The problem is we have not mark-to-market values.
Hi, this is Dove Plumbing. How are you? I'm sorry? Can you call back an hour? We're just a little busy for telemarketing calls right now. Trying to figure out a way how to get rid of those phone calls. They stop us about 5 times a day.
You just get that many scam calls?
Yeah, that's a scam right there, yeah.
That's so frustrating because you can't take your phone number offline.
No, we're paying for our phone number online.
So marketing is one of your biggest expenses.
Correct, yeah. You got to spend 15 to 60.
Wow. In a way, you'd say that marketers are the real heroes, I guess, is what they're trying to make the point of this video. It's like plumbing is honest work, but marketing for plumbing is even more honest. Wow, that really makes you think. That really makes you think.
$16,000 a month to get customers, yeah.
We spend a lot on Yelp. There's a lot of people that use Google or Angie's List, but we like Yelp.
How'd you find us?
I think it was actually Yelp. So your Yelp is working.
We paid $63.40 for your click.
Thank you for your service.
And I'm not paying you at all.
Yeah.
All right, so the sink goes on. Okay, so
Easy. Slot it in.
it looks done. I don't know what all these extra steps are about. Sink installed.
Well, we did good for working without knee pads.
Okay. It was break time, so I wanted to check in with Dove on how I was doing so far.
You're doing great for your first day. A few little hiccups there and there, nothing crazy.
Okay, so I've only done step 1, and then I got lost.
But we definitely would give you a shot if you're looking for a plumbing job.
Okay, that's good to hear. Was it this hard for you as an apprentice? I feel like I'm having a really hard time.
It was a little tough in the beginning. It wasn't easy, yeah. There was definitely times that I was helping somebody repair a shower and my eyes were literally just closing on me because it was just so boring because I was just a helper. The second that guy had to go for lunch and I was doing it on my own, then it became so interesting and I was wide awake.
He likes working on it. He doesn't like watching.
6.5 years.
And then immediately after that, you started your own business?
Yeah.
Why were you interested in plumbing in the first place?
It's not construction that you get laid off in the middle.
I'm going to make streaming boring for my child. Once I have a kid, I'm going to make him watch me stream off the camera to the side until he fucking hates it because it's so boring. And that way he'll get a real job. It's a genius plan. I'm going to do that. That's my fucking long-term goal.
Middle of the winter when it's raining, you're usually working indoors.
My son will be a fucking plumber, or he'll be a firefighter.
most of the time.
I feel like the trades generally people have thought of as like a second option to college, but then now there's this like resurgence where like a lot of Gen Z is like choosing to go into the trades first. Do you think that's a good thing that they're like giving it more of a consideration?
I would definitely suggest that to my 2 boys that I have, yeah.
I figured while the other guys are on break, I should practice up some plumbing skills. Excellent, 3 ducks. A lot of plumbers I've talked to said that they like this industry because
Hey, has Stans announced the gender of his child yet? Is that public? Yes? Yeah, he's gonna have a daughter. He's gonna be a girl dad. I forgot if he said that. He's gonna be a girl dad. You just got baited? Oh, well, I don't think he cares. First of all, I don't think I got baited. And secondly, because somebody already said it instantly. Yeah, he's gonna be a girl dad. That's cool. I think Stans will be a good dad.
it's so stable because plumbing is always needed and can't be replaced by automation or AI. I don't actually know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna stop before I break something. AI replacing your job is a legitimate fear lately. For example, Shopify is asking employees to try using AI first before hiring someone new now. It's important to not just keep up with the news, but to read between the lines. Stories like this can be spun a dozen different ways. That's why we've partnered here of AI replacing jobs, but right-leaning everything. Go to ground.news/brew, the link is in the description, or scan the QR code. It's about $5 a month to find the angles your go-to news sources might be missing. Time to get back to work and get some water flowing to the beautiful sink I built.
While you're holding it, I will cut a piece off. This is a handheld cutter.
Oh, can I try one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, getting there, getting there. It's so hard.
Some of Dove's tools cost thousands of dollars, but he says they're worth it if they save him enough time. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, there's that.
That makes sense.
I loosened it up. What on earth is that board with all those screws sticking out of the back of it? Listen, the guy before us did shoddy work. That's what I'm seeing.
Definitely looks like a lot of pieces put together here, yeah.
She's already critiquing. She's already
We got pressure on the water. Great.
Johan, drain the boiler. I'm sorry, drain the hot water heater. We got too much pressure in this water line here.
How often does that happen?
Sometimes it happens. Can you open the shower here? Should turn it all the way to the 9 o'clock position.
Oh, the handle just came off. Okay, it did kind of work, even though the handle fell off. Oh no, and now the telemarketers are calling again?
I would be kind of annoyed in his position. I mean, as a fucking consecrator, I would be doing what she's doing, but like jimming the camera, fucking goofballing, and it's just funny. It's like, just fucking stop.
No, come on. I need some help here. I need some help here. I need some help here.
Thank you.
Yikes. I decided to quit before this gets any harder. It's a hard day's work. You gotta be strong, you gotta be thinking ahead and problem solving, because the last guy before you left a bunch of mess, and then you're dealing with the problem that's whatever's wrong in the first place.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard work. I'm starting to wonder if I want to be a plumber at all. Maybe though I could start my own company. My own company of all women plumbers, because it's all men plumbers around here, and they're helpful and they're great and I love them, but what if it was all women? That would be great. I'm gonna start my own company that's all female plumbers, then I'm gonna sell it immediately.
Oh, that's good. There's money in it.
First, I had to start my own business and find someone to pitch it to. I chose Alpine Investors, which has acquired over...
No, dude.
I had to start my own...
Plumber. That's
business and find someone to pitch it to. I chose Alpine Investors, which has acquired over 250 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical companies in the last 6 years through its subsidiary, Apex Service Partners.
Alpine Investors.
Most PE firms just try to increase profits and sell the businesses after 3 to 5 years, but Alpine and Apex haven't yet. I was ready to see what I could get from my company. Graham, it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Macy.
Oh, she's serious.
Some materials for you.
Awesome.
For you, sir. Graham, I'm here today to pitch you on the greatest investment opportunity that has ever walked through that door. Plumher is the new plumbing company that is taking this industry by storm. I'm sure you're wondering, what are my credentials? Thank you for asking. I have more plumbing experience than 98.8% of Americans.
That's true.
I have installed over 1,000 millimeters of pipe. I have used plumbing for 24 years. Everyone I meet is immediately charmed by me. And if you're not sold yet, we have even more. We have strong differentiation because only 3.5% of plumbers are women. But at Plumber, 100% of plumbers are women.
Which is you.
Which is me.
Nice.
Yes. We have memorable brand power and strong branding.
Love it.
That's important.
We can promote it on my Instagram, which has over 40,000
That's important too. Social media canon. He's counting. There's no way.
We will be carbon neutral by 2035 because we transport always by my bike or the subway. I don't have a van.
Nice. So you're saving some emissions.
We're saving
Yeah.
emissions and costs.
How about
I know
that?
you guys love to cut costs, so there, I've already cut them for you. On this paper, I have written the number of the amount of investment that I would like for my business. And could you read that aloud, please?
It says you go first. You want me to
What would you buy my business for?
Well, Macy, I think in a few years, your business is going to be super, super interesting. I think today, probably not so interesting.
I'm giving you the...
Yeah, I think it would be funny to see if it's illegal, so I guess you can't. But it'd be funny to see someone try this for real. In that, I think there's a real opportunity in the market for a shoddy, poorly run plumber business to get a big exit from private equity. That's really the funny thing to me, is that you could make a business that has few employees, doesn't do a good job, has poor customers reviews, but because you've been running for a while and have some revenue, you could sell it to a private equity firm that doesn't know the realities of the business.
The opportunity to get in on the ground floor, that's a bad investment by you.
Well, you still got a long way to go.
This isn't how I thought this would go.
Is it illegal? I think they would be able to sue you when you uploaded your YouTube video talking about how you were trying to scam them. I think intention would matter there, in that you were clearly trying to hide the negative aspects of your business to... I think you could get away with it if you were actually a bad plumbing business and they overpaid. But
when can I come back? What do I need to have before you'll buy my business?
So I'd say you want to have probably about $2 million of revenue or more.
Okay, so we just need a little bit more from where we're at right now.
You want to have Google reviews that are 4.8 stars or higher.
Oh, okay.
I can buy those.
You can buy those.
I can fake that so easily, Graham. I can have that today.
You want to have a brand that people recognize.
Is there anything else that my business needs before you're going to buy it?
I mean, you're going to need to have technicians.
Right.
And you want to see that technicians, typically have been there for a number of years, and that you're keeping them and retaining them and make it a place that they want to work, so that when we buy it, they're going to stay on. You want to have a list of, several thousand customers that are excited, that you've done a great job for, that when you sell them to us, we can inherit those customers, and then they become a kind of permanent part of our business.
This is so much more work than I thought it was going to be. That's going to take a long time. Why are you guys so interested in the plumbing industry?
So to put it in perspective, the entire software industry in the United States is about $650 billion in 2023, and the plumbing, HVAC, and electrical business is about $500 billion. So it's absolutely massive. It's mission critical. It's not something you can do without.
You come in, you put in a new CEO who's young and excited, then you all retain control and are making more of the like big picture decisions.
So the first thing we do, the leader's usually retiring. We put in our own leader. We put that person through a...
Is it sexist that he didn't buy her company? Let's think on that. Is it part of the glass ceiling that is not allowing women plumbers to succeed, that he did not pay? I think very much, yeah. I think very much. I'm going to be in his
A
comments.
whole training program on how to run a company, and specifically how to run a plumbing company. We put in place new IT systems and new financial systems, which they typically don't have, or if they do, they're antiquated. And then we really focus on hiring and training technicians to make them more productive.
Private equity in the plumbing industry is polarizing. Technicians sometimes complain of more intense working hours or being forced to push expensive upgrades on service calls. But the company owners who are selling get a nice payday and the ability to retire. It doesn't always go as planned, though, with some owners later regretting the loss of control after the sale. What do you have to say to...
This guy was a plumber? The money really got to his head quick, dude. He bought a big question mark Riddler type room and a Winston Churchill doing the... It's like Austin Powers.
Planned, though, with some owners later regretting the loss of control after the sale. What do you have to say to like critics of private equity who think that private equity coming in
He bought hard
degrades service
assets.
quality and lowers working conditions for the technicians?
You know, I think private equity in general gets a pretty bad rap, and some of that is very deserved, I will say. We track the Google reviews before and after we buy them, and we also track the stat that I'm most proud of is that technicians make about 40% more.
Are the customers paying 40% more?
No, the technicians are just going to more houses and they have more jobs.
So they're working more.
The technicians are just getting a lot more work done per day.
All right, Graham, thank you for explaining private equity's interest in plumbing. I've learned a lot. Listen, you're really not interested in plumber?
Not yet.
Okay, but marketing is super important, and marketing could help change your mind.
It could, yeah.
All right. Great to meet you, Grant.
Nice to meet you, Mason.
Good pitch.
Oh, no. Uh-oh, you need a plumber. But you have such a great vibe going in your apartment. You don't want to bring a man in here. You need plumber. Plumber only hires girl
This is
plumbers,
setting
so
women
they won't
back.
ruin the vibe of your girl apartment. Plumber.
This is
Girl
setting
plumbers can
women
do
back
everything boy
10
plumbers can
years.
do, but in heels.
We can't actually work in these. You know that, right?
No, those are steel toe. Girl plumbers won't ask you gross questions. They know that your toilet is only clogged with glitter.
You're flushing glitter? You can't be flushing glitter.
We're gonna need all different tools for that.
Plumber. Girl plumbers only cost 83% of what boy plumbers cost.
Wait, that's
Oh,
really
that's an upside.
You're literally doing the gender pay gap.
To use plumber.
Wait, that's incredible. How about that? A steal of a deal. How about that? Good video. Fun video. Fun video. I would like to see more stats on actual private equity sales and seeing who's running game, but that's cool. Oh, there's an Almost Friday. There's a brand new Almost Friday I wanted to watch. And then we will watch, I think, Smallville. Let's watch. The last Almost Friday was hilarious. That was one of the most fun things we watched on stream. The one we watched about, what was it called? The guys that work from coffee shops. Yeah, that was great.
On May 20.
All right. This one's called Entitled Princess Terrorizes Police During DUI Stop. Okay.
On May 22nd, 2025, 2 Duval County officers discovered an intoxicated woman who had crashed her car into a roadside palm tree.
Hi. Hi, can you turn that music down?
No, thank you.
Ma'am, roll your window down, please.
What's that going on?
Can you roll your window down, please?
Thank you I like so this much. song.
Can you turn that music off,
Thank
please?
you so much.
Ma'am, I can't hear you. We need
You
to have
turn
a
it down?
conversation.
I love that song.
Okay, can you roll this all the way down, please? Ma'am, roll this. I'm Deputy Schwartz at Sheriff Landon. Can you tell me what's going on?
So,
Are
no,
you all right?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, thank you, though.
Okay, so can I just see your license, please?
How old do you think I am? That's my age.
I'm not going to guess your age.
Seriously, will you guess my age?
Can I just get your ID and registration, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Pussy?
What? Hey, what? Ma'am, put that down now. I don't know if you have any weapons on you.
I am a weapon because I'm a woman in the United States of America.
Can I just get your ID? Lainey Manassas?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Sit tight for me. I'm going to go run your license.
Run it.
I mean, this chick is obliterated. Yeah. I'm going to go run her license if you want to just run a field sobriety test.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Come over here, hot stuff.
Take your hands off the wheel for me, ma'am.
Where do you want me to put them on you? Come over.
What happened?
I'm like in a wreck. What's your name?
My name is Sheriff Landon.
London. I like that.
I'm gonna have you step out of the car here, please.
Why? No, why did I do that?
Okay, I'm gonna have you step out of the car
Why
here
did
with
I
me.
do that, freak ass?
Yeah, all right, you're gonna fall down if you stand up. Stand right in front of the car for me, over here. Not there.
When you see your friends later tonight, what are you gonna say about me?
Please stop leaning on the car and please stand. Stop. Don't spit. No spitting and don't lean on the car. Stop spitting. No spitting. Stop spitting.
You think I'm pretty?
How many alcoholic beverages have you had to drink tonight?
2 beers in 9 hours.
You got 2 beers in
9 beers in 2 hours.
You had 9 beers?
9 beers in...
Or 2
19.
beers? Okay. Step closer to me, away from the vehicle, please. What the fuck?
Really pretty eyes, by the way. You have
Okay.
really pretty eyes, by the way.
Stop. Stop. I need you to follow my finger with just your eyes.
I'm a disabled veteran, by the way.
Focus.
You and I should get out of here.
Don't move your body.
We would have sex.
What?
You can literally be real with me. Do you think I'm
You're
pretty?
getting one more chance.
Fine.
This is it. Follow my finger with just your eyes. Don't move your body.
Oh, what the fuck?
Got a lazy eye or something? Stay
What
right
the
there.
fuck?
You will blow into this mouthpiece for 3 seconds. Do you understand?
I bet you like that.
Nice. Try that again. What the fuck is this? One more time.
What number do you want?
What?
What do you want? 1.6? 5.
Stay right there. Lady, back up. And when I say go, I want you to walk in a straight line towards me, all right?
Ralphie.
What's going on?
Hey, this chick's supposed to be dead.
What does that mean? What do you...
I don't know. The system says she died 3 years
Hey,
ago.
guys.
Drunk driving.
I'm gonna go.
I don't know. What the? Stop! Stop! You know what? You are under arrest.
I'm joking.
Lady.
Are your body cams on?
Yes.
God! I know the government. I know the president. I know the social services.
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Like, I know it's not your guys' fault. I'm going through like a lot right now, and I'm on my period, and it's like I'm being choked.
You're under arrest.
Like,
Lady.
no!
Hands behind your back.
I don't want to have to, guys. I do not want to have to do this to you guys too. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm fucking.
Holy shit! Stop! Stop! Stop!
I
Lady,
told you
stop!
I didn't want to do that.
Lady.
I have to go.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh my God! Stop! Hey! Oh God!
This took a twist.
Oh fuck! Oh God! Did you see her? Where? Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh, where are you? Oh fuck! Shit. Oh fuck! Where are you? Did I get you? Where are you?
Are you feeling this too?
What was that? What was that?
I'm pretty. We could go anywhere together.
We could fall in love and get married. We could start a family together. This could be our life. You love me very much.
Oh fuck! Landon! Oh shit! Oh, fuck. Hey, come on, get out of here! Where you been? Whoa! Put him down! Put him down! Put him down! Lady, I said put him down! Down! Come on! Get up! Get the fuck up! Oh, fuck! Jesus fucking Christ! Get out!
Average day in Tucson.
You guys cannot be here! You need to get
Whoa.
off the main road, okay? What the fuck
Get out! You fellas see anything suspicious tonight?
We are dealing with a highly intoxicated, violent woman, okay?
Yeah, that's her. Subject is in the woods. Alert the creator. How long were you with her?
It was a DUI stop. Who the fuck is that?
Did you argue with her?
She was drunk. Yeah, she was belligerent. We argued with her.
Who is that? Hey, who are you?
Did you affirm her? Did you affirm her in any way?
What the fuck?
No, we didn't.
Hey, what is that? What is that? Hey, what's he grabbing? Get off your fucking hands off us!
Back up.
Oh my God. What are you doing? Make him stop!
Put her in the van, take her straight to extermination.
You gonna kill her?
You may go. Thank you, John.
Oh, are you gonna kill her?
Why do you care, dude? She's not even human. Let's go.
Can't let that happen.
Why?
I love her.
What?
I love her.
What do you mean?
I fell in love with her.
How?
I don't know.
Dude! Wait, back the fuck up! Everybody back the fuck up! Lady Molasses, you're the most beautiful, prettiest fucking girl in the entire world!
You dumbass.
Ralphie, come on!
Her name's Lady
I'm sorry,
Molasses?
I'm sorry, back up!
Do you mean that?
Yes, I mean every word. You're the most gorgeous girl in the entire world. Shut up and back up! You shut the fuck up too,
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injuries can happen anywhere, in public, at work, or when a mutated half-woman symbiote tries to get her way. Morgan & Morgan will fight. They have your...
We'll fight to give our clients what they deserve. Visit forthepeople.com to start your claim.
Funny. They just do some crazy stuff. I like them. I like Almost Friday a lot. I like them. Plus, I love Blues Traveler, so good song. All right. To finish things out today, we are going to try watching the first episode, the pilot episode from 2001 of Smallville.